Ah. Can't look. Gasp.
Yeah.
You're all pulling my pose.
I was wondering whether you would be going for a, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no
that
evil.
would have been smart.
Have you done that before?
I think you have.
I think we have. I think we have been smart in the past.
This time I'll be speak.
Speaks of silence?
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Guess what? There's silence out there.
Oh shit.
Now you know.
You're
Oh.
speaking about it. The more you know.
The more you know.
Hello.
Lots of folks in the chat right away, right at the top of the sesh. Hello. It's so great to see everybody.
Of course, without my glasses, I just see a 1 next to, present viewers. So I'm like, wow, hello, one person. Our bot.
That must be, yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Where do you see?
It says
present
11
viewers?
there. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Just above skip alert.
Oh, there it is.
But,
All right.
it's usually slow to...
Oh, that does take a while to update, yeah.
I don't know which direction I'm going wrong way.
Oh.
Auto hosting is no longer a thing.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Since when?
I think it was part of their combating the hate raid thing,
Oh,
but
sure.
Thank you for the host.
Well, we'll
thank
take
you
the
for
hosts
manual
first.
host.
I'll be honest, auto hosting no longer being a thing, I don't really know if I mind that much.
Well, they've hidden hosts so far down the list. It's like stuff that's live, recommended shit, random shit that we've decided to promote to you, and oh yeah, by the way, these channels are hosting. Like,
Oh, we have to fix that.
But how often do you tune into a channel, one of your
yeah.
smaller and yet still beloved streamers, just to see who they might be hosting at that
That's it.
Well, that's the
point?
thing, because they changed the way hosts work. It used to be that you'd see hosts in line, and then it used to be live and then hosted, but now they've just buried it. Thank you for the follow. Big door.
What I like about hosting is if you have to miss a stream during a regularly scheduled time, this way when people go to your channel, there is something playing.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll like the new person they discover.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, we can also do specific hosts.
Yes.
Big Door 82 sounds like
Big Door.
shiny tune.
I was going to say, it sounds
Big
like a
shiny
cover band or an
tunes.
album title, yeah. Oh boy.
Big Door looking for Pook.
Came
Coming
to the
for
right
you.
place.
Yeah, clearly. It's Sunday night, or Sunday whatever time it is for y'all, or Monday whatever time it
It's time zone.
is. It's insert time zone here.
I'm now getting text messages that's like, Elizabeth, you have a COVID test tomorrow at 8:45.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Someone came to our house today
Yeah.
to do a COVID test for Liz.
Yeah.
I was like, do you know where we live? That's
I
wild.
confirmed the address with them 4 times, and they were like, no, we'll be there.
FBI!
Yeah, get down there. Swab up the nose. Ah.
to be fair,
Sorry.
these are
Sorry.
good reasons.
Yeah.
We should be getting a COVID test.
Oh,
Sorry.
absolutely. Sorry. Yeah, I'm on set.
Yeah.
Is Liz a little quiet? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we can put you up there a bit, Liz.
Hello? Hello? It's the sinus.
The
Mummy.
brain drain.
The brain drain.
Nice.
Yeah.
The prequel to Mummy, the game,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
how I like to.
Prequel. It's just being a mummy.
It's just becoming a mummy,
Being
yeah, exactly.
mummified.
Good times.
I wonder whether we'll get our triple. I don't know.
Probably
Oh.
at this rate.
I was like, all
mean, we
three
got
of
the
us in
double
one
tap,
session? I understand.
Right, but were we going to end
He's
up with the
gotten
triple
that.
tap?
I know, but he's going for it again.
I mean,
It's
But-
Jim!
what if we leave? What if we
Okay,
just leave John out this time?
that makes more sense. Now I know who you are.
Threesome? Is
Yeah.
that what's happening over here? Sorry, we're talking. So we'll just have to let us do our thing over here, folks, for a sec. Yeah.
Hands on the table.
Oh.
Hi, Jim.
Hello. Yep.
Yep.
Hey,
Hi.
did you have a good time in the between your week and your week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last couple of hours in particular have been muy bueno, which
D.
is very good.
Everything is. Boom.
Boom.
So yeah, it's been great, honestly.
It's good.
Yep.
Are you confident that today will also bring you good?
I'm confident that it will bring fun. That's all I can say on that subject.
It's an interesting way of
Have
putting
to
it.
Look at my dice, probably is. No, it's fine. They'll be fine. Oh, Scott, you dummy.
We're bringing this up in
Oh,
pre-show.
God.
You want to read that out for us, Scott?
I sure do.
For the whole class?
Well, so Cheeky C says, my fave thing about Jorik is you just know he is a pure mad shagger. Quote 69. From the early days. Now,
ExalTwitch Nexus.
ExalTwitch Nexus. Now, I can't confirm or deny that there was anything that had happened in the game up to that point that would have prompted this, other than maybe hashtag half a hair sniff might have happened by then. It probably did, actually, let's be real. But, like, it was quite shocking the first time I read it. I was like, excuse me? Oh, okay.
Didn't a Jim join like our
Yeah,
Discord?
that's what I thought.
That's where we.
Oh, I thought we were all doing it's Jim. Like, I thought we were making it a bit.
No, but I think
I
I don't
thought
know.
we were doing a bit.
I'll admit there are a few people who have joined our Discord and Disconcordia, and they're like, "Hi," and I'm like,
Hello.
"Hello, person I totally do not know."
Oh,
But yeah. John's right.
Yeah.
Point, John.
Detective John.
Do you think
Oh, I missed that.
between these we have Jorik, an Eclipse Cast Solar. We have Pyres, a Fire Aspect Dragon Blood. Which one wins the Pure Mad Shagger Award?
Have to ask the expert.
Jorik.
Expert.
The sexpert. Wait, really?
My bet is Jorik.
Really?
I don't think Pyres is as experienced as he lets on.
See, I was thinking it's not. Yeah, it's true. Definitely, there's an experience.
Because we know Jorik
there.
has done it at least twice.
And a few times with the bow.
A few times. 3 times. All right, 4. 4 times.
But Jorik was all about his
I
fancy
don't
shirt.
understand your comments, and I won't respond to them.
Jorik was all about his fancy shirt. Pyres is all about either the destruction or the absence of shirt.
Just ridiculous.
See, he wanted to play someone really different. Instead of caring about shirts, he hates them. Sorry, Scott. I'm so sorry. We're being such
I know,
assholes.
it's so good. No, it's because you put those two next to each other. I was like, wait a second. Like, is this me? Like, not is this me? What am I trying to say here? It's more just like, wait a second, is this what I want to be playing? Good.
Or is Braum the Pure Mad Shagger?
Oh my god, for sure. You know it.
I mean, he's the Pure Mad Shedder
True, at least.
of gravel.
My drop.
Am I? Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
We also know that Pyres was with at least 2 people.
accurate.
But beyond that, who knows? Secret babbies
Fact or
abound,
fiction?
no doubt. Very nice.
Drink
very
your maiden tea. Rest just like shoves.
Dad's not putting it in your rooms for nothing.
No.
Okay, geez Louise. What do you mean?
Oresta, I have to ask about your friends. Are they getting down?
Probably.
Yeah.
Should I leave some kettles?
Yeah.
Requiem, I can give you some Braum pillow talk. Ready? Here we go.
Oh, wow.
I just
Is that how they did
it
things?
just happened. Finally. After so many years, this is what it feels like to be satisfied.
That's horrible. Wait, what?
Oh, I was assuming pillow, but I much prefer that interpretation.
Oh,
Thanks, John.
yeah, I think it's true. Oh God. Thank you for the sub.
Yeah, thank you.
Subscription, Lemon Eater. Thank you very much.
It's 14
Sub in
months.
this chat anymore.
That's a lot.
14
Yeah, it's-
months.
That's as long as this channel is.
Yeah, that's the
channel, I
whole.
think. Yeah.
Pretty soon we're gonna lose track. Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
I just mean like pretty soon it'll be like a channel where we can be like, do you remember when we started this channel? Wow.
Back in the good old days.
Back in the days. Back in the pandemic days. What crazy times those were.
Yarp 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 yarp.
Ah, get me my cane.
Kate, you're 35. I'm just kidding. I
Not
think that's
even.
never mind. Hmm?
No, like in the future.
Yeah.
No,
At
yeah,
the
yeah.
time that I would be saying this.
Can you imagine? Never mind. That's the whole thing.
Requiem, I also heard that.
A subscription.
Ooh.
Stay tuned to this
I
episode
was
of
your
ExalTwitch
age.
Academy, and
We've switched
Probably not find
our
out.
broadcaster so that we can do such a thing.
Is that a marathon
over
stretch
on-
goal?
Switch.tv.
Stretch.
Don't make promises you can't keep, John.
Yeah. Pyres will do a strip show for anyone who asks.
I know.
Look, the popularity of Marvel's What If only makes me think
Oh my
that
God, let's
another.
go.
That they stole our idea. Yeah.
That's the comics
Yeah, 'cause
stole
they-
our idea.
They stole our idea.
Yeah.
That must be it.
Right.
Makes me wonder, how would ExalTwitch Academy have changed if...
Pyres wore a shirt. It's just like darkest timeline. Everyone's on fire.
No.
He's like, no, you ruined everything.
Yeah.
Like Vierne is just accepting the Scarlet Throne.
Yeah. See, no one ever noticed him because he had his shirt on.
It's true. I'd like to thank Pyres and his top wear. No.
What
That was
if
the implication.
Gale Whispered never lost a game of Gateway?
Whoa. I mean, yeah,
This would be pretty
good hypothetical.
similar.
Oh.
What if Commander Clam Jam never jammed a clam?
How many jams could Commander Clam Jam if a clam jam could jam clam?
Something like that.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Good night, everybody.
Good. See you later. We're here all week.
Much jam. We've been jammed.
We've been jammed.
We've had a conversation.
Oh.
Here, we should get some like serious music for this. We've got
Oh shit. Serious music. Oh yeah, right, because we had a serious conversation.
John's serious corner.
John's austere corner.
We've had a conversation, the four of us, and there's a lot to like about how we're playing so far. But we are finding some speed bumps when it comes to the system. Now, some of this is because we are endlessly optimistic and choosing to run a game that doesn't actually have a completed like draft.
Here.
We have a manuscript, so we have a draft, but we don't have a final draft. And there are versioning errors. There's things that are unclear. The book is not designed for general consumption yet. But we have been enjoying ourselves, except a bit of the rolling has been an issue, and a bit of... So we've decided to try to kill two birds with one stone. Starting today, we are making a change which states that players may now spend any experience they choose on excellencies. Just excellencies, but we're going to see if we can give our players a chance to hit those dice rolls the way that they prefer, being able to spend motes in order to do so. We're going to test this out. We'll see how it goes, and by the end of this season, we'll probably have a better idea of how things are going. But for now, that's the choice that we've made. So now there'll be some more exciting things for them to spend their experience on, and perhaps a better opportunity to make the rolls that they would prefer going forward.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
I mean, don't thank me, thank each other. It's because you talked.
Don't thank me. Thank the rod.
It's an inanimate carbon rod!
Yay. But yes, thank you to everyone around the table. I think we're playing our own way.
We used our word
stuff.
holes.
Yeah.
We're also going to give players a one-time opportunity, although I think it's going to happen between this session and next session, to have a look at their character sheets, to look at the distribution of their abilities. One of the things that we have discovered is that in a system whereby you are not expected to roll for difficulty 1 and 2, it makes a lot less sense to have abilities spread out in a wide array as opposed to having a few focused areas of ability. So, for some, that is going to directly affect their character sheets. So we'll let you have a look at that between now and next session and make those changes as you see fit. But that's going to apply basically to your abilities. That's it for now. Obviously, at the end of our season, because as you may or may not be aware, the way that we operate is that we play in seasons now. We play a season, and then at the end of a season, we stop. We take a look at the game that we're playing, and then we start choosing what we want to do at the end of, for instance, the first season of ExalTwitch Academy. We decided we wanted to play a second season, but that we were going to attempt a different system. Specifically, that we were going to attempt Exalted Essence. And we'll reevaluate the changes that we've made to the rules at that time and figure out where we want to go from there. Whether we want to keep the excellency rule or not, or whatever else we may decide.
Perfect.
Speaking of experience, is there experience that you want to spend today? 3, 2, 1. Well, it looks like everyone's going.
Yay. Yeah, who wants to? Do you want to? Yeah.
I bought an excellency thanks to this new rule, and I got an excellency in athletics.
Nice.
That does feel pretty good,
Tracks.
actually.
She lived.
I used my major milestone to add a dot to an attribute, and I chose to go up to Force 5 because that felt appropriate. It felt like what Pyres is trying to accomplish, and we'll see if he needs more finesse in his life at a later point in time, please.
And I went to Finesse 5.
Oh, complimentary.
Yes.
Requiem does ask, has Scott changed his mind on the expendability of Flivian?
Requiem, I changed my mind the moment I said it out loud. Look, if you've watched any of my streams, you'll know that I change my mind from moment to moment. Like, not just day to day. Like, yeah. Flivian is not expendable. She's a wonderful ally, and I'm very happy to have her on my sheet.
Good. Maybe she'll be between your sheets later tonight.
Oh!
I mean, we'll see.
I did have the thought, because I thought it would be quite cheeky. You can use a major milestone to... you can use a major milestone to add a dot to an attribute or buy or raise an existing merit, but not by one, right? It's by like a level.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, and I didn't want to, and I was just curious if I could go around and ask, like, I thought it would be cheeky if I was like, hey, can I upgrade Flivian to like a primary attribute, to a primary merit? And that'd be very funny to me.
Yes.
Dick move.
Dick move. What, make her more powerful? What's the problem? Anyway, cool.
Sometimes dick moves happen in the middle of role-playing games. Thankfully, we have ways to mitigate those circumstances. That's one of the better segues. That's
Pretty good.
One of the many segues you'll hear from John tonight. Folks, indeed, John is referring to these. These are our safety cards. We use them so that we can have a safe and therefore fun stream. You don't have cards out there in the chat, naturally, but you do have options. I'm going to get to those in a second. This green card, the play card, tells folks in the chat that despite my outward appearance, I am enthusiastically consenting to the roleplay that is happening in this moment. The yellow card is a pause card. It simply means, hey, can we pause the game? I have to let everyone at the table know something. And the red card is a stop card. That puts an immediate stop to the game because someone, you, is not or are not okay. We will probably go to a be right back screen while we resolve what's going on. Once everybody at the table, including including the person who pulled the red card, is comfortable and ready and willing to continue, we would restart the game at that point. These tools allow us to play safely and go to our limits, as it were. You don't have the cards out in the chat land, but of course your safety is important, so you have options. You can always message a mod, someone with a green diaclave next to their name, or RPGClinic, if you need to make something known. And of course, there's always the option there that if there's something that's happening that's impacting your safety, that you can leave the chat. We don't want you to, but if you have to, you have to, and that's the most important thing. So do that, be safe, be fun, in that order. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
I gotta go.
Remind me in 3 hours and 10 minutes to talk about hockey scene.
Okay, added.
You'll never know,
No, we won't.
but they will. And it actually has nothing to do with hockey,
Oh,
Mystery.
well, that's interesting.
but it does have to do with safety cards.
Ah, okay.
See, now I have segues that matter, that don't even matter for them. I just have weird ass segues. It's time for you to say what happened last session.
Oh dear.
Bollocks. So we
Get in
put
there.
our plan into action. We drew a crowd to denounce Viren in front of everyone and succeeded.
Yep, we returned Viren Brevin to Canaan's pavilion, where we fake executed him, but presented the crowd with his real head. The bloodlust was intense, but Pyres managed to turn it into a grand feast of some kind.
We discovered from Brevin that Leanne's anima flare had been triggered by a toxin, the same toxin that had been used on Juin, who is now giving us more information in the inn. Ding!
Nice. Actually pretty good.
It wasn't bad. Although I was waiting for Kate to be like, we gathered last session.
I was
And
just
then
looking
just,
at
like,
my
leave the rest
point
to us.
notes. It was like draw crowd. This was like our plans.
Oh,
Draw crowd, denounce Viren, incite crowd, execute Viren. And I was like, I can just say those things. Yes.
And
Question
Oresta
mark,
and
question mark,
Flavian
question
got
mark.
busy.
No. Yes. Someone.
Feels like I just like gave away a secret.
Ah, the Stone of Scone.
And what's
yeah,
today's
Stone of Scone.
cocktail?
Yes, we are drinking.
Maple old fashions, because old fashioned usually uses simple syrup, but we're using maple syrup.
The Canadian old-fashioned, if you will.
A.
The old 1867.
It's so good. I know I'm
Isn't that a kind
it's
of...
unfortunate.
I think that's a brand of maple liqueur. I think, 1867.
I think
We'll call
so.
it the Confederacy? The Canadian.
The Canadian Confederation. Yeah, it's very important to...
Do you mean the Confederation?
It is very good.
Confederation? Fuck.
I do.
Shit.
It
Fuck,
is
shit, fuck. The Confederacy is something else
very
entirely.
good. That's kind of why I flagged it a
I
little
worked
bit.
in
but we're
Parliament
okay.
Hill
You did.
for a time.
That's an important place in Canada. We all go there on field trips. If you're from Ottawa. All right. It's delicious, though.
Old Canada Village or some shit.
Upper Canada
Upper
Village?
Canada
It's
Village.
a great place.
We meant the Confederation.
Anyway.
Of Canada.
Yeah,
We'll talk later. Yeah.
I'll repatriate your constitution.
Oh my god. Wow. 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 I've been feeling your confederate.
That was Pierre Elliott Trudeau.
That's right. Current PM's data.
Buddy duddy.
Buddy duddy.
And then Jagmeet tried to use the "Just Watch Me" line in a tweet.
Oh.
Like, that didn't work.
Oh god.
Anyway,
Can't do that.
Canadian things.
Dance.
How about we have a go at this game?
Oh.
The day after I won alongside my team a robotics competition, I lost my voice. Gone. Completely. I felt miserable because not only had I lost my voice, but also the stress of the 8 weeks leading up to the competition, the focus, the lost hours of sleep, the sheer effort that it took to get all the way there meant that once it finally had happened and we were victorious, my immune system just said, I no longer have to work overtime, and stepped back. The cheering and screaming didn't help, but I was wrecked for days afterwards. And this is a common occurrence. Right at the moment of victory, when everything you've been working for finally comes to a head, there's a crash, a letdown, a realization that your body needs a chance to recover, and so does your mind, and maybe even your heart. I don't think you have that luxury. I think that you might be able to rest on your laurels for a little bit. Maybe it would even feel good. But there's more to come, more things for you to accomplish, and perhaps less time than you would like. So, in moving forward, while you are looking for your next step, don't forget you're coming off a victory. Don't squander it. Don't spend the next 4 days in bed wondering why your throat hurts so much. Ew.
I didn't say it.
Catherine.
I said,
Yes, Jonathan?
whoa! Ooh! Caliente. I didn't say anything for the record. I just want to put that out there.
When did I?
Yeah.
It's true, also.
It was
I
screaming.
was
through
completely
your-
silent.
I said ew, and one person broke.
I was just making a sound. I'm
Yeah, you were.
sorry.
Are you continuing to stay at this inn, or are you going to move on?
Well, I had just asked you in for a sample of her blood to test for the toxin.
I do remember that.
It was a note from past Liz.
Wow.
How do you intend to test for it?
I don't know, but I'm sure I could figure it out.
You want my blood?
Yes. Yes, I do. It would be well taken care of.
All right.
Really? I mean, good.
What's your resolve there? It would be, is your integrity, do you have any dots in integrity?
Do I have when?
Okay, so it's 2.
Why do I have that it's...
2 plus.
I think it's 3. Is it?
2 plus
Plus-
1.
Oh, plus...
2 plus 1, so
Yeah.
it's 3.
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
That's 3.
Everyone has 2.
Oh, okay.
And then you gain 1 if you have any integrity.
What's your intentions for this scene?
It's genuinely to test her blood for the toxin. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I feel like this is my best chance.
And then where are you going to take it from? What are you going to put it into?
And she starts looking around the inn.
Just like vases.
Oh, God.
Could like wash out a wine bottle.
I'm going to wash out an ink pot.
Okay.
So it has a little cap.
Well, cork.
Yeah. And where were you stabbed? No, you weren't poisoned by stabbing. You ingested it. So Gale mentions a very logical place to draw blood from that would cause minimum discomfort, but
Oh, like the back of a Volkswagen.
yeah.
She's going to draw blood from a very uncomfortable place. Oh, like the back of a Volkswagen.
Fair.
She's like washing out the ink bottle really well.
Okay, so while that's happening, she's just watching you like a hawk. Meanwhile, are either of you doing anything while, scrubbing and slicing are happening?
Scrubbing and slicing. I'm gonna see what she said back here just briefly. Nice.
Incidentally, Juin, the freshest blood is always found in the buttocks.
Yeah.
Tap that.
Tap that. Yeah, no, I'm kind of like eyeing her as well. Just like
I mean, we could put 30 seconds of dead air on. That would be...
we could. It's gonna be great for the people
Sorry.
listening to the
Yeah,
podcast.
Totally amazing.
Hello.
I'm not sure what Oresta would be doing at the moment other than glaring at Juin. So,
Why glaring?
I don't know. She's trying to trust a chosen of the unconquered sun, especially now that she is self-declared as such. But,
Quartermaster, sorry. Juin. I can tell you anything you want to know about me, although I'd be surprised if there's much you don't already know. What can you remember about your time being brought to the House of Bells?
I came by ship. Seven Fingers captained the ship. I arrived. We docked in Argif. I went on to the House of Bells. I assumed my position.
We now know, and you've probably filled in.
I filled her in.
everyone
I
about-
told her. I
and
told
you
her
filled us in about.
I
having
told her
filled
everything.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. Right.
She should know that.
I don't know what his intentions were. I'm not sure whether he meant to destabilize the house by bringing in someone of power like you, or perhaps whether he intended to have a whole host of secret weapons nearby. I don't know, and I don't mean to treat you like some sort of object. That's not what this is about.
Well, I was fooled and you were fooled. We were all fooled.
What brought you to the House of Bells? Not the ship.
I wanted to work there.
Guess it would be too obvious if there was a mysterious
An
offer.
opening was made available when I decided to apply. I suppose my candidacy may have been accepted if there was some way for that to be influenced, if Seven Fingers had enough pull. But I wanted to work at the House of Bells. I wanted the opportunity. She opens a respectable vein in order to drain blood into this inkwell. Of course, as soon as she desires, she stops shedding blood.
That's good.
This is as opposed to her disreputable veins.
I'll just add it to my inventory.
10 gold pieces and 1 blood.
Mix blood with lasso. I don't think that'll work. Mix blood with soaring eye. I don't think that'll work.
Medicine is under sagacity now, right?
Yes.
With sagacity 4, would I have a sense of how to store this blood? Like,
Yeah, it's
properly?
fine.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And no, I'm not going to start getting into like, but you need anticoagulant. you have access to enough information that you figure out a way to transport the blood
Thank you.
Good ear.
without issue.
Thanks so much, Kate.
My sagacity.
Sorry.
Thank you for putting your trust in me. I hope to get you answers.
I hope that doesn't get you into trouble.
I mean, we just add it to the list.
So far, it seems that your reputations are pretty intact. You've destroyed Vierne and you've spread the idea that his ideals were not in the realm's best interest. I'm not sure that you have that much more to fear.
Gale kind of like looks out of the corner or imagines the egg in her bag. Just
It's just poking out the top. You're like, oh, shit, get back in there.
Shit.
Now it's just a matter of convincing the rest of the realm. One at a time.
Where are you headed next?
We need to talk about that. I received a note, someone who needs to be convinced of something. Someone you know very well as well. Morale awaits.
Are you aware of her motives?
No. I think I am. I know her well. Apparently not well enough. No, that actually, it does track. She's always been dedicated to the idea of being the best. And to be the best is to join the Wild Hunt. I'm sorry.
Why?
That's how it is. There's no greater honor. What? There's no greater honor in the realm than to undo those who wish to destroy it.
Is that what you believe?
It's not what I believe. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
You're going to have to start making that decision soon. Whether or not you want to face me on the battlefield as an enemy, walk alongside me as a friend, or take 3 steps to the left and pretend I'm not there. These are decisions you're going to have to make. And we may as well do the honor to each other, trying to slice each other to ribbons face to face, than for you to choose one way, and for me to make sure that you never wake up the next.
I won't pretend you don't scare me.
I offer you the truth, nothing more.
That's why I don't want to pick the first option. I would never align myself against someone who has the realm's best interests at heart, and I know you do, as do we all. And then I do a bit of a double take at Gale, who's holding a vial of blood. Just it's very subtle, but I definitely do it.
She does not notice.
I know.
Sweet red ink.
I'm going to write so many letters with them.
I'm going to sign so many deals with Yosi.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's fine.
Viren, do you have any Yosi dealers?
Hey, I got Yosi. We got big Yosi. We got little Yosi. We got old Yosi. We got new Yosi.
Oh boy. Incredible.
Use a pen, Sideshow Bob.
I feel that if we can somehow manage to convince Morale that we are not completely out of our minds, then we'll have secured ourselves another powerful ally.
Yes.
But I'm all ears if people think that there's something else we can pursue in the meantime. If we can find out where this strange
I
what?
think there are leads that we can follow down in the city before we set out.
And this is going to take time. Like a venture amount of time. To study. But I can do it.
You just hurt John a little
Not
bit.
quite as bad as show name, but still.
Roll credits. But I can do that either on the road or here.
Movie title.
Oh, so good.
We're laughing. See?
So it's not all serious.
In fact, maybe I can visit a surgery and gather some more tools that could help me.
You already have my blood. Do you need to take an arm off as well?
No, I meant hey, John, are microscopes a thing?
Like lenses and shit?
Yeah, like if I
Probably.
wanted to look closely at the blood.
I don't think you're going to be able to get a level of magnification that you are hoping for you're not being able to be oh, DNA.
So I'm better to just do a venture with
Can I use
charms and stuff.
Missing sorcerers?
No, I think that you'd be able to use a certain amount of scientific equipment if you wanted to, but you need to find a lab. You need to be able to get the sort of things that you're looking for. You'd have to take care of it. I'll also point out that it's very possible that the toxin that you're looking for maybe in the region, it's been used recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and would I go to a lab to determine that?
No, not necessarily. It's unlikely that this toxin is the kind of thing that somebody just encounters in the wild and they're like, ooh, I wonder if this berry's good to eat. That's not really what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
It is most likely synthesized, or it's very rare and somebody is finding it and then processing it so that it can be used as a toxin. Thing is, you know that it has been in the area recently because somebody was subjected to it, or at least if that's what if you believe Brevin and what he said.
To a point, yeah.
So
An
it's-
alchemist might.
So it's very possible that alchemy is technically
An apothecary
yes.
is what I meant. There we go.
So it's very possible that this sort of thing is at Kanan's compound, or if not the compound, somewhere nearby,
Excellent.
like an apothecary.
Yes. I've got such a great history with apothecaries.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh.
Meta. It's meta. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, point being, I can do things here or I can do things on the road.
Great.
No, we should find out what we're dealing with first in terms of this thing.
Do you want to remind people of what the result of that letter was that was sent to you by Morale?
Yeah, Morale sent a letter to Pyres, which I will go back and start pulling here. Essentially, I'm gonna find it at some point.
It was the end of 8, I think.
Yeah. Essentially, that I had given her a lot to think about, but that she didn't sort of trust that I was in league with the right people, more or less. She wanted me to convince her of my point of view, or be destroyed in the process, and that she is waiting for us, or me anyway, at the House of Bells, where we last saw each other, on the field in the old House of Bells.
Ooh, I can track the toxin there too.
She's waiting for...
Waiting where we last saw each other? Yeah, waiting to be convinced or to destroy me.
Right.
Yeah.
And how long is she waiting?
Oh, 1 month.
And if you do not arrive in 1 month?
She will come to find us. Me. I keep saying us because I'm hoping there's like people that will stand in my way, you know?
Share the blame.
Hey, what happens to one member of the hearth?
Share the load.
And so I know we need to get there. I don't want her coming for anybody else. This is my battle to fight, but I think it's also important to know what we're up against. Somebody, and I don't think it was necessarily just Viren, was trying to expose those who are different.
Well, we know it wasn't just Viren, because Viren was dead when Leanne was poisoned.
Good point. He might have sent it on posthumously.
Someone
somehow.
still administered it. Somebody knows. We have to make somebody talk.
Something.
Brevin is our connection to that.
He didn't know anything. Maybe he
How
would talk to you.
Did
Yeah.
he spend all this time pretending to be Viren, talking to all of these cronies and not learn anything?
Exactly.
Impossible. He's not, even if he doesn't think he learned something, he learned something.
I'll see if I can get to the bottom of it.
While you do, I will, maybe I can investigate the kitchens. She was probably poisoned over dinner.
Yeah. 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 That's not great.
John, I don't really have a charm that would allow me to do this, but what I'm hoping to do is like get enough of a sense of the toxin from Juin's blood that if I encountered it again in its raw state, I would maybe recognize some similarities.
Okay, so what I'm going to suggest instead is that you spend some time studying the blood.
Okay.
We can say that if you can find a place in the town, which you most likely can, it's a relatively large town, that has access to, an apothecary's reagents and the equipment that you would need, a library, which you already know you have access to. You can try to learn as much as you can about the toxin. There are 2 places that you know of where the toxin has been used. The first is here. It was used on Leanne. Second is at the House of Bells, where it was used on Juin. So, one thing that you can do, you have Juin's blood. It's been a long time since that has happened. You could try to see if you could get a hold of some blood that didn't have the chance to purify the toxins out of its system.
Leanne's? Where's the body? You could find that out. Can you ask Brevin where Leanne's body is?
I don't know if he'd know.
It's
Where is it? Oh, you sent it out to sea.
the ocean.
Oh no!
Vivienne, time for
Vivienne.
No, I'm just
Do you want me to go and find it?
Yes, I'll go with you to the sea.
You would slow me down.
Well, I can just stand on the shore.
Okay, we need to focus. We have a lot of options. We have a lot of information.
Sorry.
Bless you, Pyres.
Fire.
The Unconquered Son is like, no take-backs. Blessed. Bah.
No.
If you think that body would be of use, yes, let's go get it as soon as possible. If you think you can get it, someone should go with her. It doesn't have to be you. If you want to also start looking at the blood you already have and find the equipment. And you, Pyres, what's your priority right now?
Getting information out of Brevin as much as I can. You're right. He probably doesn't know anything, and that's not because he's dumb. There's a but he doesn't say anything.
So that's three projects and 5 of us. Who's pairing up?
Whoever remains alone, I'll stay with them. Because none of us walk alone at this point.
That's you, and sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the one who sounds like a badass.
She sounded a bit like Santel, too.
Yeah, yeah,
She also
yeah.
sounds like a
I
bad.
was
Hey, I don't leave you alone. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't get it. What's the matter with you?
Oresta, you gave her a proper send-off before.
So I should.
Would it be...
Yep,
How would you
I'll-
feel doing
yep,
it again?
That's fine. I'll go. I'd prefer then that Ciantel goes with Pyres just to keep Brevin not on edge.
What do you mean on edge?
I don't know how he'd feel about seeing our
Revan on
old
single edge?
professor.
That's something I'd like to see.
I'll drink too.
Pyres just like nods very briefly, like, okay. Okay.
All right. We meet back at my family's place. We know it's safe there, and if you need anything, they can send out for us.
I can communicate with you.
That you can.
Does it go backwards, though?
You just have to trust that we're listening.
Okay. We all know where we're gonna be. Nice.
I don't think it's technically a thing in Essence, but can we still sense each other like we did? Or
Yes, specifically, I am going to say that because
Great.
you are in a hearth, you are allowed to spend a mote in order to determine the location of your hearthmates.
Awesome.
In a general sense.
Yeah. Echo, echo, echo. No.
I know it's not in essence, but
Yeah.
I don't care.
Great.
There's not a command for Oresta yet.
The thruple.
Oresta.
The thruple to end all thruple.
God damn it, Jellica.
I'm just gonna become the hearth. It's okay.
What?
Pentagon.
There's a reason we call it hearth mates.
Alright.
Oh, you want to start?
Crowds out there are riled up. Do nothing to incite them towards yourselves. Send them off towards the parties. Keep your heads down. And, see you soon.
Good luck.
We're gonna be okay. Reconnaissance.
I'm gonna find a messenger to warn my household what I'm bringing back. I'm gonna head down to the desk at the inn and ask them how to find a page boy.
Hello.
What?
Like a page, I don't know, like a messenger. They have-
Messengers is a page would
boy.
be like, yeah, but a page boy is like somebody who operates within a noble house, not like a, oh yeah, I'll go run over to Mr. Winkles for you.
Yeah, then a messenger boy.
Mr. Bring this pie over to Mr. Winkles, will you?
Well, what can I do for you?
Bring this to address, and there'll be this much for you when you get there too. I'm gonna give them like a reasonable amount of money for the job.
Okay,
Yeah, and it's just a message.
off I go.
Yeah. Basically, I'm just sending a message home, being like, "Hey, I'm gonna need some space when I get back. Clear out. I don't fucking know where we're gonna do this."
I mean, you also can just take her blood. You don't have to take the whole
Oh,
body
okay.
if you want.
I
don't
just
know.
came home. This is crazy.
I'll wordlessly
here's
pass
a
Oresta another.
Great, awesome, file, perfect, great. That's easier. Awesome.
those
Never mind the message. Never mind all of that. Great. I don't have to bring a beheaded,
You don't have to
waterlogged
bring
corpse.
like a corpse
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
you
Great.
don't.
Awesome.
She's got a big 4 on her forehead.
Just weekend at Bernieing's her. Like,
Oh my god.
she doesn't have a head. It would be very difficult.
I hate it.
Aye,
All right. Split.
Break.
I'm basically a House of Bells page boy, apparently.
So sorry.
I like it.
No, me neither.
All right.
Yep. Yarp.
It's going to take her some time, but Flavienne finds the body along the coast, and you collect your grisly ink.
Yikes.
Pyres?
Siontel and I are returning to Kanan's Pavilion. I'm low-key hoping to run into Kitty, because I need to speak to my mother about the old bait and switch that we pulled there. But we're on our way to speak to Brevin. That's where I'm headed.
Gale Whispered.
I'm gonna procure equipment from a lab. Go to an apothecary and pick up like actual like vials and things, any kind of lenses that I can find, that kind of stuff.
This looks like it would probably be a good use of your ability as a dragon blood to pull backgrounds out of your butt. So
Doesn't make any sense. Contact.
Great.
when you get to the pavilion, you see that Kitty and Dewan are packing up because they no longer see much of a need to be here.
That's fair. I kind of like motion to Siontel just to let her know that I'm gonna take a moment with my folks.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Thanks. I clear my throat to make my presence known to them, and I kind of just bow my head. I see that you uncovered part of our plan, Mother.
Do you believe for a second that you could put one over on me, your own mother?
Only for long enough for it to be important. I'm sorry.
Why? Was there any advantage to letting me in on the project before it was carried out?
I, perhaps mistakenly, believed that if you knew that you would just try to remove him from existence.
There is a reason why in the chain of command, Pyres, there exists such a thing as a need to know. And I did not need to know.
I didn't think we had a chain of command in our family.
Am I to get insulted that you chose a strategic course of action?
Never had much of a head for strategy, so maybe.
She closes the door to make sure that there aren't other people listening. Even Dewan is chased out of the room, to which he kind of gives you apologetic sad eyes before it closes. I never asked you for you to become a strategist. I never asked you to be anything except you. And if you're going to learn to be a leader, you're going to have to accept that there are certain things that you will be exceptional at. And there will be other things for whom you will find others to do the work. If you found somebody who knows how to accomplish strategic maneuvers, then you hold on to them. If you did what I think you've done, and you executed a long-term plan in order to destroy a man before you officially revealed him dead, then you succeeded. I cannot be offended that you didn't tell me in advance.
He was a stain on this house.
You'll receive no argument from me there. But I will have you understand that I'm not going to hold you in some kind of contempt because you didn't tell me.
I appreciate that.
There are things I haven't told you in your life growing up.
Anything you want to tell me now?
None that you would benefit to know.
Understood.
The point of a need to know is not simply because it is a way to control power, which it is, but also because knowledge can be a burden and a liability. The more people who know about your plan, the more accepted it can become. The fewer people who know your plan, the more of a surprise it can be. Telling people just because you trust them, or just because you love them, can end up hurting them even more than it can hurt you.
This did have to be surprise. So,
I'm proud of you.
thanks. That means a lot to hear.
Is that all you needed from me?
No, I needed advice.
I could give you empty words if you wanted them.
They don't have to be empty. You can
No.
imbue them with some of the knowledge of your many years. It's a powerful...
I will tell you that I'm proud of you now because I am. It is the first time I have been.
It's like an inflation and a deflation at the same time happening in Pyres right now.
I don't really know because I don't think she's ever told you I'm proud of you.
No, for sure. So he's very much like, oh, and then he's like, oh.
But why would he be like, oh? See, in your upbringing, remember,
Right.
you're dragon-blooded. Your parents were not the same kind of parents that Oresta had,
No.
where her parents took a much more active role in her life. They birthed you. They ensured that you had the resources necessary. They would occasionally talk with you, especially as you grew older and became more interesting to talk to.
Fair.
But they didn't do a ton of raising you.
I think, like, Pyres believes somewhere deep down that he's done something in his life that she felt proud of. And to hear that that's not necessarily true is a little, like, gutting.
Okay, that's fair. That macaroni picture that I put up on the fridge?
It's not
Shit.
very good. Getting into the House of Bells? I paid for you to go there. Fuck you.
Technically, yes.
Correct, actually. Yeah, no, for sure.
Even Oresta, Kathak had
Oh.
to make donations in order to ensure that they would accept, especially one who was as, new to the world of being dragon-blooded as Oresta was.
For sure.
Doesn't matter that she showed the aptitude for it. Lots of people do. The reality is that the secondary schools don't charge tuition, but they will accept bribes.
That sounds about right. Ew.
And Kung Fu Fenris is also right. Your mother, she had Moral. She had you. It was an anomaly that you two were close enough together in age. But that's it. She is quite possibly over 100 years old. You're like a thing that happened along the way.
Footnote.
2. Pyres. We'll just know then that I am going to try to make the kind of decisions that change creation.
Don't try.
Why do people keep telling me that? As if failure isn't possible. I don't want to fail. I'm not saying I'm going to. I'm just saying that I will give everything I have to change the world, to make it more in my vision of it. That's what I'm saying.
Did the Scarlet Empress try to seize control of the Imperial Mance? Or did she seize control?
At the time? Or in hindsight?
If history is written by the victors, Pyres, you damn well better be sure that you're one of them.
Just have to win.
And there's no room for trying.
Okay. Wisdom accepted.
I'm glad. Now, the decorations here are gaudy.
A little bit.
Gaudy?
God.
There it goes.
It's the accent in my that's all.
Yeah, it's a Mayanian.
Yes, we take the transliterative AU and move it to the owls.
Yep.
Right. That's it, though.
Everything's a
Otherwise
schwa.
I have someone else I need to see, but thank you for seeing me.
You know where the door is.
I hope we both get to see Moral again soon, as well,
If she deserves to be seen.
if she deserves to be seen.
Counting on you for that.
Then count on me.
I do. Because I don't try. Gale Whispered, it is not difficult. It is expensive for you to get a hold of what you need, but that's not really a problem. After all, you are not only a dragon blood in good standing here, but you are also a recent accompanier to Pyres and his raves a lot. I'm assuming, by the way, that this is happening over the course of like a couple of days, because it's going to take time for all of this to happen. Is that all right with everybody?
Sure.
Yeah.
With me,
We're
yeah.
gonna.
I'm not going to be like, haha, sucker, 2 nights ago you got stabbed to death. Should have said something.
And then.
Yeah.
So rude.
Yeah, and I also, while we were in Argif, I snuck back into my family home and lifted my savings from under my mattress. So I've been bringing money.
$7.
Right? This will get me a lot of petri dishes.
Hey, Oresta set you all up with a little coin purse.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Oresta.
Daddykins.
Basically.
I want a golden. I want a trained squirrel. That's what I
train squirrel. Once I get back,
Your Farouk assault?
want to train squirrel. I want to once Gale procures everything, she once she gets the blood from Leanne as well, she wants to draw some of her own blood so that she can compare.
A control.
Yes, indeed.
Ah, yes, the scientific method, birthed by Gale Whispered.
Say it ain't so, John.
I'd like to establish a fact.
No, but honestly, like, we're into it.
All right.
Science.
The first step of your venture is going to be examining the difference between your blood and the blood of somebody who was infected.
It can be
Poisoned?
Juin while we wait for Leanne, because I know Oresta still hasn't.
And Leanne. You've got all three,
Okay.
right? Assuming that your blood isn't significantly different, which, you know, you're different exalts, but blood is blood.
Not low-key, Gale wants to know if that shows up in blood too. She's kind of interested, so. Win-win.
But you're basically comparing blood at the moment during the event, blood much after the event, and blood that has never been exposed to the event.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you roll. This is going to be an intelligence sagacity roll.
Okay.
Your difficulty is going to be
Do you mean finesse?
right. Running several games.
That's all right.
It does happen.
Yeah, we'll say finesse. You're taking your time to do this. So I'll say it's finesse sagacity. It's going to be a difficulty 5 roll.
Okay.
And you have stunted for it.
Okay.
Yay.
Yay. Eh.
Fitting emote to use your excellency?
Leanne isn't B-. Leanne is always B+.
Well, she
Was.
Oh, God.
make
She
me
would
feel
be.
real bad about
That's
it.
my blood type.
Be positive. Just a winks.
That's... Oh, God.
Scott, do you know your blood type?
Oh, positive.
A positive.
It's close.
Oh, Nig.
Actually?
Yeah.
Actually, though?
Yeah.
And they don't come for you?
I haven't gone because when I was in CJEP, I didn't weigh enough to meet the cutoff.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Damn.
yeah, no, because I know they.
That means quite literally.
Yeah, I could give any of you my blood. I get
You
it.
can give any one of us your blood. You can give me your blood, and that's it.
Hello.
Hey, there you go.
7 successes.
Woo!
All right. After a long day and even partway into the night of examining and swapping and examining and swapping and going back and forth and coffee drinking and all of that.
Montage. I like
You
it.
gotta montage this shit.
Gail will need to be reminded to go to sleep because this is how she
I
rolls.
don't think anyone's going to remind you to go to sleep.
All right, well.
We've got our own stuff going on.
Here's a few things that you can know for certain.
Okay.
The first is this is absolutely an artificial concoction. It is not a sorceress work. Because you can find evidence of it still. Like there isn't lingering essence power, or whatever you want to call it, left behind. The reason why I say that it's artificial is because it seems to be a compound. Things that have been mixed together and fused in such a way that it has this effect. Now that doesn't mean that it doesn't have spiritual components to it. I just mean it's not specifically somebody completed a sorceress work and therefore kablam.
Right.
Okay.
The ingredients for this toxin aren't immediately apparent. It's been a while. But so in other words, you don't feel confident that you could use it now. However, you do feel confident that now you have a way to test to see if something is the toxin or not. So while you can't build it, you can test for it. Now the test, unfortunately, isn't as simple as you being like, I'm going to hold this little strip up to this food.
Yeah.
Well, oh, it turned green. I'm pregnant. It turned red. It's a toxin.
It's a toxin.
Right? It's not like that. If you had access to a thing, you could then compare it to the samples and the notes that you've had. If you could examine it under the same kind of equipment, that would give you a better idea as to whether or not this is the toxin. And then if you found the toxin in its undiluted form, then you might be able to figure out how to synthesize it yourself.
Okay. Thank you. That's wonderful.
I mean, I want to know exactly what it does personally, but
So the next step in your venture is find some of this stuff. Once you do, then you'll be able to figure out where it comes from, potentially. And then the final step of your venture will be potentially how to counteract the effects.
And because I can tell it's a compound, going to an apothecary, even, they wouldn't have it there. This is somebody who,
Unless the apothecary knew how to build it.
yeah.
But it is possible that somebody could go to an apothecary, order 3 different things, and then
And then make it.
make it.
Yeah.
But you don't know what those ingredients are.
Yeah. So I need to figure that out. So I should try to find the toxin in an undiluted form. That seems to be my
Yes.
best bet.
By undiluted, I mean uningested. Right?
Okay. Yeah. It's raw form.
Yes.
Raw compound form.
If you can find that, there's 2 places where you could potentially find it.
Okay.
First is around here, although that's unlikely now. And the second is at the House of Bells, although it's unlikely there.
yeah.
But it's possible that either of those places may have what you're looking for.
Okay.
The very specific thing, though, that I will point out to you is at the House of Bells, you know who most likely had access to this toxin.
Yeah.
Which means that it might be easier to find. Around here, it could have been any number of hundreds of people.
No.
That's harder to find.
Okay. But the House of Bells is also, so much of it is in rubble.
And yet, probably not, picked over already.
True. Okay. I like it. Yeah, that's a good plan. Thank you, John.
Now, while all this is happening, I should say something to my good friend Oresta. Hi, my good friend Oresta.
Hi, storyteller.
The night after Gale Whispered, finally is oh, Eureka! I should point out that Flavian hasn't, tried to go into your room at night or yours. She's been, she's not avoiding you.
Mm-hmm.
And also, funnily enough, she's not acting awkward around either of you. which means that I'm not even sure that Pyres knows what happened.
I doubt it. I think Pyres has some degree of like, social know-how and like people skills, but I don't think he'd be looking around at his hearthmates being like, who's stuppin'? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's his, that's his thing. Not stuppin', but anyway.
Please just, have a conversation amongst yourselves for a
John's
second.
much faster than I was.
Yeah. You can just hit the little X buttons next to their name. Like cancel buttons.
So okay. Oh yeah, so something's maybe happening here. That's okay. What did you find? No, well, hang on, I already know, I guess, but like...
Thanks,
Yeah.
folks. I'm just going to point out one thing. If we do end up having to turn off chat, we apologize.
Yeah.
But it seems like we're getting some suspicious activity.
Yeah, something that would probably happen would be we would switch to a sub-only chat really quick.
Yeah, we got a button for that.
Yeah.
Of course we do.
Great. I at least have the wit. Oh. Fuck you, don't play a goddamn ad. Sorry. This... Fucking... Like, I can't even change it to chat-only mode before the ad plays.
No.
It's the fucking worst. Because that's the thing. For the sake of, fast-forwarding time and stuff, it's fine, but Oresta would want to address this sooner rather than later. And she'd probably start by speaking to Flavian about it, before, asking Pyres his intentions. Like, he doesn't own her, I don't own her. Like,
No,
talk to
not at all.
Flavian. Initially. So, I'd probably...
I'm just trying to practice. Trying to practice what it's like to be Ladal. Oh. Oh, I see.
Do you feel seen?
What?
Perhaps it's forbidden.
My father does have access to all kinds of books that are nowhere near in print.
Incredible.
Yes, I suppose, but I don't like books.
It's okay.
It's not okay. It's not as if I don't like books, but I don't like forbidden books.
Yeah.
I prefer books that are more like interesting stories.
Same.
I would not be a very good Ladal.
What if it was an interesting story that happened to have been forbidden because it was written at a time when, the whole Immaculate Order hadn't been established yet, so they had romance stories involving Anathema.
Oh, I read one of those stories once. It was incredibly hot. The only problem was that at the end, when it became clear that there was an Anathema, the ending had been written so that the Arrowan slew him, and everything was much better for the realm as a result.
Edited ending.
I didn't know it was edited at the time. It was compelling.
On the subject of
One night and a
compelling
night.
characters. Nice. On the subject of compelling characters, I figured I should speak to you. And
Are we going to play D&D?
ask about... Fuck, John.
My Thaco is 4.
Ugh. Oh, look, I rolled a 1. Woohoo!
Sorry.
Thaco sounds filthy, for the record. I just want
On the subject of compelling characters, you thought you needed to speak to me.
I don't want to form any sort of rift amongst our hearth. I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable position.
Like the back of a Volkswagen.
I don't want to try to be serious with feelings and just end up with jokes.
Why are you worried?
I guess what I want to know is where your head or your heart or your feelings or whatever are at.
I see. You're worried about jealousy.
Yeah,
Are you jealous?
no.
And if you discovered me tomorrow leaving Pyres' room,
Then I'd know what you wanted.
what is it that you want?
It's true. It's not fair for me to ask if I haven't figured it out myself.
I already told you. I'd been waiting for you to interrupt for a long time.
Well,
I'm fond of Pyres. I'm very fond of him. And he is a very, very pretty man. I'm sure you would not necessarily disagree with this.
not at all.
And there are moments where, when I was lonely and I thought you did not feel in the same way, I looked to him. But he wasn't. He wasn't the one I was. It is all steam. It does not create the power of rivers.
And if you one morning saw me leaving his room,
Then we would have an interesting conversation about the sort of fun we're allowed to have.
allowed to?
That we allow each other. Not you and me, but all of us. After all, if you get to leave his room and I get to leave his room, and we may as well have an actual conversation, the group of us.
Never leaving my
It isn't as if...
He's trapped.
I'm trapped in my room.
Oresta, it isn't as if we aren't traveling together. This isn't the sort of thing that you're going to keep a secret for very long if it's going to happen more than once or twice, right?
Correct.
Which means that when I tell you that I was waiting for you, that is the truth. If you were to tell me that you were waiting for Pyres, I would want to know. And if you were to tell me that you would be thrilled to find out what it would be like if the three of us were to explore, then that is another question entirely that we can discuss. But I care so much for all of you. You, Pyres, Santel, Gale Whispered. And sometimes it feels that I only have one person, and yet I have so much to give. But I chose you first. It didn't happen first. My bad.
That's all right.
My bad.
What? Are you here?
No, I'm sorry. No.
And have you been waiting for me to interrupt ever since? Is that the role you'd like me to take? To show up?
No. No. All of this is very new to me. I had suitors before I joined the House of Bells. Lovely people. Kind. Some not so kind, and that was also kind of fun. But as soon as I entered the House of Bells, it seemed like there was no time. Brevin was strict about how we would operate as a unit, how it would be inappropriate to become involved with your unit. it would be inappropriate to become involved in anyone else's unit. That love was a distraction from war. I do not believe that he is correct.
You fight harder for those you love.
And so I'm still getting used to the idea. I'm very, very fond and attached to all of you. But it isn't as if it has been 20 years. It's been... I'm embarrassed to say probably something like 2.5 months at this point.
All right, yeah, something like that.
And would you be alright if I had a similar conversation with Pyres?
I would insist on it.
I'll let you know.
But I also will not interrupt you until we are able to have another conversation. I'm very pleased with what we managed to share. I would love to continue exploring in that direction. But not before we've had a chance to talk.
Thank you.
And if you believe that perhaps 3 of us, or the 5 of us need to speak, then we can do that too.
Thank you. I'm probably gonna move in to kiss her.
Like a romantic kiss? Or like a
Something in the realm of romantic. Definitely not like, oh, let's get at it, but definitely like,
Yeah, but there's a big difference between like a peck on the cheek and a kiss with a hint of promise.
yeah, that.
Oh, nice. That's cute.
Ah, yes. 20% tongue.
0% tongue.
Oh, little hint.
Okay. She responds. But she definitely, there's like this is very nice. I would love to keep doing this, but we also just said that we weren't
Yeah,
going
exactly.
to.
Yeah, it's literally like Oresta's intent is one and done. One and done.
Wasn't that her intent the other day too? Never mind.
So, and then she has
Isn't
just
that
the
how Pyres does it all the time.
slightest devilish look in her eyes for
Yeah.
a second. He's more than just pretty. If you get the chance.
Noted.
Ridiculously good looking.
We're at Oresta's home at this point.
I guess so.
Yeah, I need to speak to
Awesome.
Brev.
Temptation Island.
Oh my god. I mean, I need to speak to Brevin as well,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
perhaps before you... Well, if you guys meet up,
I know.
I'll be along momentarily.
Brevin is actually occupying your old inn room.
Of course he is. I bet he didn't even change the sheets, like a little weirdo. Okay, I don't know why. I don't know where that came
Smells
from. I don't know
like-
what that was.
Patrons aren't in charge of changing their own sheets. And
Smells like
inns.
Gateway and
As well.
Prince of the Earth.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Smells like gateway fuck.
Smells
Yeah.
like Gateway fucking solar blood. I don't know what's going on.
Oh!
Gateway fucking Solar Blood sounds like a great band. but
It
I'm not
really
sure what
metal.
for.
That's metal AF, yeah. For sure.
Oh
Incredible.
boy.
All right, well, I'm returning to the inn to speak with Brevin. I'm bringing Siontel, or if she wants to come with me.
Welcome to South by Southwest, starring Solar Blood and Gateway Fuck,
Okay.
Okay,
featuring Starcloth Office.
how many more times since we've been away, Kung Fu Fenris? How filthy has the office gotten?
Yeah, we need to know.
It's been like 4 hours.
The poor office.
My office!
Uh,
Oh,
Depends on what?
people are wearing Depends in my office.
I mean, Gale is a grump.
Better than nothing. Oh, what do you think a grump is?
I mean, so Parsifal is also ancient.
apparently true. Apparently
Ancient
true.
childing.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it to death.
Oh my goodness me.
Tangent.
It's a tangent.
So speaking of, that's where Pyres is.
Great, good, yeah.
Office.
No, in.
So you knock on his door, I assume.
Yeah, I'm not going to be rude about it.
Come in.
I enter the room and go to take a position at a table.
Like,
Sorry.
like position 12.
You could have said anything.
Number 2, I see.
Leg goes up on the table and he's just like, I'm here. No, like,
Could have said literally anything. Anything else.
clearly I went to go sit at the table, for fuck's sake.
Why didn't you say that?
I clipped that, by the way, just so you know.
It doesn't make sense. I don't know what I mean. Oh, stupid.
Oh my god.
Okay, all right.
Liz, can you high five him for me, please?
Well
There we go. Thank you.
Whoa, that was good.
It's a clappy.
It's also
Happy
the position I
clappy.
took up on the table. All right. Well, I enter and I go to sit at the table.
Oh god, you entered.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Sorry.
No.
I'm done. For now.
Well, you killed me.
Felt good.
I bet. So my time is done here, isn't it?
Depends.
They don't want me to stay. You don't want me to stay.
I'm not your boss. I'm not your commanding officer. You can go wherever you feel most comfortable.
They're going to tell me to return, you know. Regara needs me. If they'll have me.
And what kind of machinations are they planning?
I wouldn't know. I've been too busy being one of you.
Officially, I'm here to ask you some questions. On behalf of our hearth, not on behalf of House Cathag. Unofficially, I wanted to know if you were okay. Thought I'd at least do you that courtesy.
Why wouldn't I be okay?
Well, Brevin, I've done some pretty wild things in my time. I would never have thought to impersonate one of our own professors who had led a rebellion against us and then kept up that disguise through all sorts of events up until his execution.
What's really going to mess your mind is whether or not I was ever in disguise back at the House of Bells.
Yeah, that would mess my mind.
No.
I know. I mean, I hope.
You should know. You're saying that after all this time you don't trust me.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. It was dangerous. And that's not meant to be an insult or it's not meant to be negative. I'm just saying it was dangerous. Sometimes we have to do dangerous things in war.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
I plan to live a life of danger from here on until the point where I'm no longer able to breathe.
To what end?
The realm.
It's a good answer. Me too. The realm.
A good answer. Is it the correct one?
It is. It's the greatest hope for creation. The realm.
So you're truly dedicated to the realm and not yourself. Your own glory.
Yeah.
Seems rather short-sighted of you.
If I can have a hand in strengthening the realm, my name will live on forever, regardless of my own personal glory. Seems like a win-win.
Because people remember your name now.
Yeah, they do. I'm sorry they don't remember yours.
Why would they? I was too busy being the scapegoat you needed.
It's almost like that's what you wanted. It's almost like you showed up here so that we would have to scapegoat you. But that's just because I haven't seen your journey since the House of Bells. We've been trying to survive. You've been trying to survive. I understand that.
I had a plan. Your plan ended up taking precedent. So you took it. That's fine. But I don't see why I have to be thrilled about the fact that they're chanting your name out there instead of mine.
You're going to find your own corner of creation, and I'm going to find mine, where we can both be the greatest heroes to all those around us.
And that's what you want. To have your own little corner of creation, where you get to be Cathak Pyres, and that I get to find my little corner of creation, one that does not intersect with yours, and I can be Ragara Brevin. That's what you want.
I want to live in a world where you and I can both circle each other endlessly, like the dragons themselves, balancing each other out. It's not going to happen.
Why not? You don't think that we can exist in a state of constant strife and struggle?
No, one of us would eventually destroy the other.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
He gets up and he, walks close to you. Are you still sitting down?
Yeah, I'm still sitting down.
Leans down. Destroy each other.
Yeah.
And who do you think would win?
Ooh. That's a roll of the dice. I don't play games.
You don't play games.
You never see me play a game?
I've seen you beat me at one.
Got lucky.
So quick to yield to me. You're thinking that if it was a game between you and me, you would not be so lucky. You're right. We make a good team. And at the same time, I don't think you and I could ever be on the same side.
I'm gonna stand and go nose to nose with him. Don't stand against me.
How can I stand against you if I don't even know what you stand for?
Now you're just trying to get my goat.
See, that's the thing between you and me. I don't have to try.
I came here because I had questions.
I'm right here.
Sit down. And I'm just, you know what, John? Yeah, I'm gonna say sit down, and I'm gonna try to persuade him to yield to me in this moment. I'm very happy to spend motes on this roll.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll to persuade him to not just to sit down, but to like that I'm gonna win this confrontation. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Makes sense. I'm gonna spend a mote for some successes.
Your difficulty is
That's good. Take that.
5.
Okay.
After taking into account some various bits and pieces.
You said 5, eh?
Yes. I appreciate you standing on top of things, Kate.
Thanks, Kate. Yeah.
And Kung Fu Fenris, of course.
Can I'm just going to bear down on him with my eyes, but I'm definitely gonna and try to blow some of my curly red hair out of my face. That's my stunt.
Okay.
Thanks. I'm gonna bank my stunt. Let's party. I think it's gonna. No, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say. Fucking shit. All right. Oh no. Okay. We did it. We did it. There's a lot of ones on the board, but it's okay. I did. Fuck. Wasn't that an 8? I thought that was an 8. Shit. I got 4 successes. Shouldn't have banked my dice. Sorry. It's fine.
I can answer just as well standing up as sitting down. Go ahead. Ask your questions.
I will break eye contact and sit on the edge of the table. So I'm still very close to him, but taking a position of relaxation. You told Gale Whispered about Leanne, about her arriving, her looking into Vieren, about what happened to her. It's a big question. It's a big question, Brevin, but I need to know, what you discovered as Vieren while you were there. You must have had people talking to you all the time. Plans. How did you know that? Oh no, Leanne came to you. Never mind. Don't. Retconning that.
For a pavilion that belongs to the matriarch of a great house, there sure seems to be a whole lot of other houses there, coming and going. I have no idea why House Tapet just keeps knocking on the door. Looks like your house may be in a bit of trouble. Debts becoming due. Armies spread. Pathetic that you need to get the help from a house that's already fallen apart.
Read intentions. I want to know what his intention is in this moment. For the scene, sorry.
Okay.
Read intentions. Yeah.
His integrity is...
Integrity.
His integrity is 3. It's not terribly high. He's Brevin.
He's Brevin.
That's so Brevin.
That's so okay. Oh god, yeah, I know. Kung Fu Fenders, I have questions, that's for sure.
If only we could ask the Commandant.
Mother... I tried to save them!
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
I think I said, get down! I think I literally said, get down, Mr. President!
Throw yourself in front of
I could have killed myself for
Yeah.
her, it's true.
And move it all around?
I did not, though. Alright, let's do it.
Didn't want to use your bank stun, hey?
No, Liz, because I really thought I had it. Wow. Oh, no. No, 7s are... Okay. 3 successes. Yuck.
He wants to get you riled up.
Mother... Well, it's working. That's for sure. Do not talk about my house that way.
Oh, all right. I'll lie.
That's not what I asked, Brevin, and you know it.
So you want to ask me questions, and then you also don't want me to tell you the truth about your own house.
No. You're insinuating that we're weak, and that by extension I am weak, and that you are strong, and that you can dominate me if you so chose.
You are weak, Pyres. And he takes his hand and just pushes you in the chest.
I grab his wrist, and I hold his hand against my chest, but I hold his wrist. I am not weak. You know that. Now, are you leaving my Aeon, or am I?
This is your other question. I'll give you an order if you need one. Maybe that's what you always needed. If you were in my fang, you would have learned discipline, control.
If I was in your fang, I would have left it. Oh, they did.
And now he shoves, so that to the point where you get pushed back and slam into the wall.
I'm not gonna give him the satisfaction of I
mean, you could try to stop yourself from going into the wall at this point.
can I do that anime thing where I use my feet to against the ground?
Yeah, sure. So you weeb it up.
Thank you, sir. That's what I wanted to do. This is what I meant when I said we couldn't coexist.
I seem to be doing just fine.
It's like you don't... I was going to say it's like you want me to hit you, but it's not that. It's that you want to hit me because you're a bully. You want to take someone down who you think is your superior, but you know that we're the same. That's the problem, Brevin. You're not happy being on equal footing with somebody.
We're not the same, Pyres. Listen, They're still chanting your name out there.
Is
I
it-
mean, no.
Okay. Okay, relatively standard.
Pyres.
Like,
One
Gale Whispered's
person.
just outside, like, I'm helping.
I heard he was in the inn. Huh?
Pyres.
They're still chanting your name outside, and yet at the same time, you needed me. I was the one who brought you the head. I was the one who made it possible for you to execute Viren in public. I was the one who infiltrated and discovered all the dirty secrets that are hanging around inside that pavilion. So no, we're not equal. You're just pretty, and I'm effective.
I get down on my knees in front of him, and I clasp my hands together.
That's right.
Brevin.
This is where I want to see you.
I'm not going to beg you, Brevin, but if this brings you joy, then so be it.
You don't have to beg. You just have to accept.
I can't do it. I actually can't do it. What else do you know about Viren's business at Canaan's Pavilion?
I don't think Kanan's in on it.
Oh, thank God.
Well, that's probably good. Why?
Viren was going to great lengths in order to make sure that the people who arrived from House to Pet were to be delivered to him specifically. I know this because I got curious about why they were being shepherded into my room. It would seem that he had already trained enough of his cronies to ensure that that was going to happen. Normally, when you arrive at the pavilion, you're greeted by Kanan himself.
Mm-hmm.
But to have them hand-delivered to me, something's different.
Underhanded.
Which means that I believe that it's a alliance that Tepid is handling with Viren. The conversations that we had were pleasant enough, but I couldn't crack them. Just reassurances that the brotherhood and sisterhood between Tepet and Cathak were well in hand. And yet they were discussing it with me. Sure, the hero of the House of Bells, but by no means somebody who has the authority to speak for Cathak as a whole.
No. I'm worried, Brevin. Can I tell you that?
Of course you can. I'm not heartless.
You could have fooled me.
You're on your knees in front of me.
Mm.
You could have fooled me.
I'll just climb back to my feet and brush the hair out of my face.
No.
I look up at him, and I'm just gonna say my expression communicates. Are you fucking serious? Is what my face says.
Yes.
I think we're gonna have a problem.
I think I'm going to enjoy having a problem.
Wow. You know what the problem is, though? It's that neither of us want to give in to the other.
I'll give you. You'll just have to take.
I don't think I can.
Then why don't you give it a shot? We can negotiate.
I start to get up again. I grab his hand. And I stand.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. No.
I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. We are not this is not healthy. You and me.
Pyres, may I ask you a question? You arrived here to ask me. I only have one for you.
Sure.
Did you ever sneak in to the liquor cabinet at home so that you could taste what you weren't allowed?
That's interesting. I was always allowed to have whatever I wanted, so to speak.
I see. That's good to know. Tell me what it was like to have everything you could have ever wanted. And it's his turn to get on his knees.
I'm out of drinks.
Here.
You're gonna need this.
Damn it, you're gonna need it.
Go on. Tell me. With a flick of his finger, belts come off.
Wow.
I want to hear your story about how you had everything.
Didn't have everything
Keep going.
yet.
He can no longer ask you questions.
Oh,
Oh
my.
my.
Pretty dooples.
Yeah, I'm very happy to
Okay.
fade to black here.
I was like,
check in
do
on
we
that.
have a green card here? Because
we have a green card? That's a
Yeah.
good question, actually. Yeah.
as much
I only
yeah,
have one question.
both parties
while we fade to
need
black.
green
Of
cards.
course.
Do you continue to tell him, or do you stop talking?
I think
He might not be able to ask with his words, but his eyes look up.
I think you should roll to see how good it is, and that'll dictate whether Pyres can maintain a conversation.
that's a good question.
I mean,
Yeah, Gilligud.
I mean,
think
I'm
the
not
answer is
there.
yes. I think the answer is yes. Yeah, Luke got it. I do. Yeah, I do tell him a bit about my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's definitely like not being selfish, but he's also definitely enjoying like the charged atmosphere and it being, you know, a little bit of a rivalry.
Yeah, I also, I don't know. I think there's a conversation to be had here, but I like to think that this event, sessions, whatever, I like to think that it's not just unidirectional. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think.
So it's not just Pyres like being like, "Yep, you
Yep,
stay down there."
Good. I win. No, I don't think
No?
I don't think it's a win-lose situation.
All right.
In that sense.
I will accept that, and
I'm
we will
curious how that goes.
fade that to
well, like
to-
Pyres does other things.
That's maybe that's yeah. I think so.
Inquiring mind.
position.
Inquiring minds want to know.
The ice
Position
has
12.
been broken.
Excellent.
Join me on the table. Join us on
I'll choose
RPG
number
Clinic
2.
after.
Yeah, this Thursday actually, where we
Assume the position. Number 2.
Woo! Me putting my legs. Never mind.
Oh my god.
We might need to update that.
Just so you folks know, I said to Kung Fu Fenris if he notices any text boxes that need to be updated, he can make a list and send it to us after stream.
please and
So-
thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Of course, thank you.
There we go.
Nice.
You
Kung Fu
might
Fenris.
be right about that.
Patches and what's his name?
Ooh, no, Sophia
Irish
and
guy, wasn't it?
Sophia had
Yeah.
one that involved winter,
No, might
if I
have
recall
been-
correctly.
Patches was really
Snowflakes and stuff.
pissed off at Grandil. There might have been.
Nice.
Yeah, when she was getting the answers out of him about the
Oh
whole
my
arranged
God,
marriage.
Oh, I can attest to that because I just watched it.
Good stuff.
Yes, it was.
Anyway,
Yes.
I'm just gonna write fade to black.
Oh, I thought you were writing down your sex P.
Thank you, Kate.
Because you are.
Check.
It's okay. I got 25 last, with changeling, so I might as well let someone else take the lead.
Excuse
25.
me.
Brevin, by the way, says goodbye to you by saying, it turns out the only thing that I needed to get you on your knees was to show you the way down.
I am like, Pyres is fucking furious, but I think he's also mostly nude. So you know what I mean? He's just like, how dare you? And then he like pulls the covers up. He's like, God damn it.
Oh my god.
And then I think Pyres is like, he screws his face up in anger, and then he just lets it go, and he just waves Brevin off.
Let me know when you leave. And he closes the door.
Is that what I was gonna say?
You let me know when you leave.
Oh, I have something. Leave.
Oh, coming. Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay.
It's okay. I want to talk.
So that one's just for the podcast listeners. Ay, yoy.
Hey, how about that Moat and Anima recovery?
Yeah, you can
Hey.
recover your motes. at this point.
Downtime scenes.
Oh, sweet.
I've been very active. Do I?
How's that for a change of...
No, like all of it. You can.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been days.
Yeah, right.
Downtime
It's
scenes are
been-
magic.
days?
Thanks, Gragod.
Thank you, yes.
Cathak Drift. I like Cathak Drift.
Now that being said, I think someone wanted to talk to you.
Does Gale have anything she wants to do before we get into that?
Gale is still
Oops.
comparing the blood. The only other thing I can think of is the fact that Ciantel was also poisoned, but I'm pretty sure it was a different kind of toxin because it showed different effects, right?
Was it?
I don't know. I'm gonna need to check.
It's not clear what the effect of these toxins are on dragon blooded.
Ciantel, can I please have some of your blood?
Classic Gale Whispered.
She
Yeah.
gives you the blood and is kind of curious. Can I watch?
Yeah.
It's my blood. I'm just curious.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same poison. But it would seem that the poison has different effects on dragon bloods than it does.
Because it didn't make her anima flare. Fuck a duck. But
Quack, quack.
it does. It did make her pass out.
I mean,
So
it
it's
nearly
not
killed
like it's nothing. It's not like you could just put the toxin in a whole bunch of people's food and only the celestials or whatever would be affected.
And that's a problem. That's why somebody probably didn't just tip it into the soup at the House of Bells and find out who flared.
Oh balls. Gale says that. Oh balls. And starts like writing furiously. She doesn't say any of this out loud.
It is most likely why this poison hasn't been used if it's known to people, although clearly it's not a well-known thing. But it's also most likely why it isn't used to just simply test to see if somebody is anathema. If they are dragon-blooded instead, it could kill them.
Ciantel. It's the same.
But I'm not anathema.
No. No, the effects are different. But a member of House Excelsi had this. Is it possible that's how Viren had access?
Yes.
You submitted your report to them?
But it might mean that Viren wasn't the one responsible for it. That someone was taking advantage of the game.
Okay.
Mother.
You submitted your report to Excelsi, right?
Yes.
Is there a chance they're going to be in contact again? Someone else? Another agent of theirs? Or...
If they're going to contact me, it'll be in the next few days. Otherwise, we might as well move on.
Okay. If they don't contact you, then we go to the House of Bells as planned, and we search for some trace of where this toxin was located. We map it out. We find out who had access to those areas of the school.
I'll leave a seed. That if they don't get to us before we leave for the House of Bells, they'll know where to find us. Oh.
What?
The idea that it's us that has control of something like that.
It's them. That's not you.
Was.
Can you honestly tell me you would have done this?
Not knowing what it does now. If they'd given it to me and they'd just asked me to, without telling me what it did, I might have.
I don't know. I think we're similar in that we can't just obey. We need to know why.
I hope so.
I think you would have needed to know what you were doing. And if you were taking a life, you would want to know before.
I hope so. But there's no way for me to know.
It doesn't matter.
I can't turn back time.
No, it doesn't matter.
If I could find a way.
No.
Okay.
No. You will not. No. Okay. So, Bjorn was taking advantage of the games, but somebody else was taking advantage of the games. We know at least one other who was doing that. This false Bracken, this other type of exalted.
Necron.
But there could have been others. There could have been more SLC at the school. There could have been a rogue agent who came in one day and left. There could have been somebody who gave it to one of the cooks, not knowing what they were doing. There could have been someone who took advantage of a student. Like somebody was manipulating Leanne all of these years, and she didn't know who she was working for. She didn't know what her powers were.
Stop.
And then I can't.
Set up a game.
Gale actually for a moment is like, what game? What?
Obscured. Set it up. There's a point. Set it up. Okay. Do we know about Viren?
We know that he had access to this toxin.
She picks up a Vanguard, places it on the table, but then she tilts it over. But it's in one of the revealed squares, one you can see. Who's next? Excelsi. Seven Fingers first.
Seven Fingers had access to the toxin.
We know he had access to the toxin.
He used it.
We also know he's a Excelsi. We don't know the relationship between these two.
For months now, it's been playing on my mind that Bjorn and Excelsi have a connection, and I haven't been able to make it fit.
Okay, so that's good. She puts the piece representing Seven Fingers also on its side. Excelsi. She picks up a flag. But we don't know what they want yet. She puts it in an obscured spot. Who's next?
This other Bracken.
She picks up a piece that she doesn't even show you and puts it in an obscured square.
Nice.
Okay. Two captured pieces. We think we know where the flag is, but we can't see it. We know that they've got at least one piece, but we're not sure what it is or where it is. Just a general vicinity, and we know that it's not on our side. Who's next?
Whoever poisoned Leanne.
She picks up another piece. This time, it's just a simple soldier, the equivalent of a pawn. We have no reason to believe that it is anybody important, but someone's controlling it, right?
Mm-hmm.
She places it not with Neckarb, but instead with the flag. Again, in a place that you can't see. Who's next? Your pieces. The 5 of us
Of us.
on the board.
Put those in positions we can see.
Okay. That's because we know the other side knows where we stand. Except me. Obscure me.
They don't know we know about Excelsi. Anyone who does is dead.
Which means that I can't see that piece, but you know it's there. As in, it's an obscured square for Siantel and not you. Who's next? Brevin. Whose side is he on?
Ooh.
I think that depends on Pyres.
Okay. So he's obscured for now.
But he's not Tepet and he's not Kathak. Which,
So she reaches over and picks up player 3.
that's an advantage.
Places him on the board in an obscured square for her, but not for you.
Okay.
Who's next?
Bracken and Juin.
Whose side are they on?
I think they're on our side.
Then place them.
And I put them both in obscured.
Okay.
Not Bracken. I make sure that she can be seen by the Neckarb piece.
Oh, nice.
So that's the board. Are we missing anyone?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Unless Moral's in on it too.
She picks up a lancer.
We need to know where she stands.
And she just puts her at the center of the board. We know where she is, but we don't know what she's doing. So we don't know what color piece this is. Look at your position. Do you think you're in the position you want to be in? Can you beat me?
I could if I could place those two. And I point at the pieces off the board.
Then you're saying we need more pieces.
We need more pieces, but also if I could take control. And I point at Moral.
That's the only piece we know.
This would give me a boost. This could turn the tides.
Capture the Lancer.
Then that's what we need to do.
And while we're meeting her, we can see who else had access to the toxin at the House of Bells. We can see if there's any trace of any other Excelsi involvement beyond Seven Fingers, beyond you. And we search for other instances of Anathema being discovered in this way. There's no reason why it just needs to be focused around us. This could be more widespread.
There might be another player at the board we can't see. So that means that there's one last question I have for you. Where's our flag?
I tuck it equidistant amongst all of us, including Siantel in the. So it's in a strange spot because it's not at the very back. It's actually
Sitting in the center.
sitting in the center of my ranks.
Our flag's not obscured.
No.
Okay.
Our strength, as well as our weakness, is the fact that we are not obscured. you are and our knowledge of Excelsi is, but we gain power and we gain safety in our notoriety.
Juin. Juin's obscured right
She
now.
is. We need to keep her that way. She needs to keep herself that way. I think she will.
Play the game out.
I've gotten so good at Gateway.
You're just gonna have to get better.
I'm not scared. I've had lots of coffee today.
Just one die, because it's not a real setup.
That's true. It's just
We just invented
more of a
brand new
metaphor,
game.
really. It's not really a game. It's a metaphor.
3.
One.
Oh.
It's winnable.
It's a tough game, but
But you need that Lancer.
well, that is not for me to decide.
Because if that Lancer was mine, you wouldn't have stood a chance.
You'd have more maneuverability. We need more public figures on our side. And she is a big one.
And if we can't capture her,
Then we regroup. Then we see about uncovering more obscured pieces. We see what kind of leverage we can get on them, and we try to uncover more members of House Excelsi.
there's more to it than that. We can't get this one. We have to destroy it.
Again, that's not for me to decide.
I don't want to decide without the rest of them. But it's not as if we don't have emotional compromise in there. We're gonna have to keep that into account.
I will start doing what I do. Advising and strategizing.
I know you will.
Good game.
Don't stay up too late.
Cute.
Well done.
Oresta.
One afternoon or evening or something, she's gonna prepare a tray with some snacks and some drinks and knock at Pyres' door.
I'm just gonna say, like,
Yeah.
I know it's a lot, but I feel like Pyres is like curled up in his window seat, like gazing out at the city, and he's just like, "Come in." And he like goes back to looking out the window. He's obviously distracted, and he's thinking about something.
Oh my.
I know, right?
A little sore.
Oh boy.
Oh. Be real.
She comes in, closes the door, sets the tray down somewhere within Pyres' reach, and probably sits on the edge of the bed or on a chair, whatever feels like an appropriate place to.
He kind of half turns and he stretches his legs out and he like leans back against the windowsill. It's a lot.
It's so Pyres.
It's a
It's so
lot.
Pyres. No, it's totally fine. It's just, yeah. So I never properly apologized for walking in on you and Flavienne the other night.
Oh. Me and Flavienne. Right. Right. It was already from my mind.
So does that mean you have no intentions of pursuing that?
What do you mean pursuing?
Just wanted to know whether there was just gonna like pour a drink.
Yep.
Pour a drink.
Yep.
Buy some time.
I'd like to take my cup and reach out and like offer a cheers, and I just want to say, you can tell me anything to read intentions.
Okay.
I'd like to know
Uh,
your intentions for the scene.
my resolve is 4,
Uh-oh.
and I'm not dropping it.
Birds. That's fair. Let's do it.
Did that actually? Here, hold on.
So cute.
Oh, it's so bad.
Boom. Just your hand just disappears. Oh my god. Okay. Do I have any like sweet charms I can insta-train? No. I don't think that'd be amazing. Sorry, it's not useful. Okay. Let's do it. 4, you say?
Yeah.
Did you stunt?
I
Yeah.
used my banked stunt.
Oh,
Okay,
that
well,
works
that's fine.
too.
Rather than, yeah. I was thinking about what I was going to use that for. And
You're not going to establish a fact like
dramatic edit. My hair blows in the breeze.
Zero.
Heron style. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
My intentions for the scene are to find out where Pyres is at in terms of his hearth mates romantically.
Gale Whispered, unrequited love.
I mean,
Oh,
this is gonna
shit.
be very complicated if that comes out.
So here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the course of this conversation, if it's possible for you to reveal, whether it's in
Yeah.
direct things or if you can aside and be like, yeah, when he talks about Siontel, he means blah, 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 blah. Or no,
No, he was
He
reading.
did it on
yeah,
you.
Yeah, yeah.
fuck it. Play it out.
So good.
Great. I'm going to counter with them out. With a charm.
I'm so excited.
Earth dragon form.
Wait, what?
And it costs me nothing. Fuck yeah.
What?
That's insane.
It's just free? I mean, some of them are permanent, like things.
Roll finesse embassy.
Okay.
Success grants one question from a specific list. And I also... Okay, how are the character and I related? I mean, maybe we're secretly brothers or some shit. Brothers, both of us. Wait a second.
John, we're going to need to know if we're secret siblings, okay?
Yeah,
If this goes off, I need to know.
So, I'm rolling finembassy.
Please tell me before we sleep together. Like, please.
Oh, boy.
God, where's my popcorn for this scene, y'all?
What are you doing, dragon bro?
For fuck's sake. Incredible. Okay.
I'm not going to stunt. Fuck it.
Whoa.
Just fuck
Straight up. Okay.
You already did.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Whoop.
So am I re-rolling with my, or am I rolling the 2 extra?
Roll your 2 extra.
3 successes.
That's a success.
So I've got 3 questions that I can ask.
Thanks, Krista.
10,000 dragons fight as one.
Oh. Okay, this charm.
Interesting. So this is mode of
Krista.
discerning technique, page 201 of the PDF.
Thanks, Kung Fu Fenris.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess I'm gonna open it by finding out. Does Pyres feel positively, negatively, or neutrally about Oresta?
Very positively.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
What to say about that?
She's gonna start with that.
That's-
She's gonna keep her other 2 questions for later.
Put 1 on the win column.
Yes.
I'm not the commander. I'm not in charge. I'm not looking to tell you what you can and cannot do. I
Yes.
just want to maintain our hearth.
Yeah. No, I know. Me too. Me too. I don't want to do anything that would put us in jeopardy. So I guess I haven't really spoken to her about any of this. Any of this. There's like a weight
Yeah,
to that, right?
yeah,
But
Success grants my question.
yeah.
So,
But like
by most interpretations of the manuscript,
Success, even though
success is
3.
3.
It's
Yes.
what I
Yeah.
encountered last week.
Okay,
It's the
because it
exact
says
same
success grants
situation.
1 question, so I'm like 1 success, 1 question. Okay, that's fine.
But it's
That's like the question that I.
However,
wanted.
I will grant you I will grant you 1 extra question because you chose a question at the beginning, which I think you kind of knew the answer to. So I'm going to let you ask 1 other question in the course of this
Can you
scene.
imagine if Pyres was secretly plotting our demise?
But you can choose when in the scene you want to bring it
Okay.
up. Okay?
And the thing is, there are only 5 questions that I have access to.
Well, then you'll get to have 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
The other charm that I have that's similar, it says, you can like make or John House ruled it that you had to do 1 or 2 off of the list, but then
Yeah.
you could make up others as long as they were like relevant.
Yeah.
If that helps at all. Anyway.
This is
Yeah.
specifically motive discerning technique?
Yeah, 201.
When it comes to Flavienne, I was honestly just as surprised as anyone when she came to see me. I really, I mean, look, Oresta, like I know that I'm captivating, I guess, to people. Like I'm not not under any illusion that that's not true. But I didn't know where Flavienne stood, and you're asking about what my intentions are maybe with her, and I'm curious about her, about where she comes from, and where she's going, and frankly, I'm curious about anyone who doesn't have the exact same upbringing that I do. So, yeah, I was curious. That's about it. She's not listening, is she?
Not to my knowledge.
Think you'll notice me?
I think I can hear what he's saying. Nope.
You have learned well.
No, I can't.
And the way you find out about different people is through intimacy.
It's one way. Seems effective. Yeah. I'm finding more and more that there's a lot of people in the realm who don't want to tell you about themselves because either they have ambition and they're ashamed of it, or they have ambition and they're not ashamed of it and they're hiding it. Do you know what I mean? People don't want to get to know you because they're worried you're going to find out that one thing they don't want you to know. But if you get close enough with people, that stuff kind of doesn't matter anymore. So anyway, Flavienne and I, it was for fun. I don't really know. I hadn't really thought more about it. Why do you ask? Oh, right, the hearth.
She never said anything about the hearth.
I think she said
I
a
think.
moment ago you were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I don't want there to be any."
Yeah, I think I might have said something about the hearth.
Maybe I did.
Oh,
Okay, I don't know.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Fuck it.
Is there anything you want to tell me?
I've lived a different experience from you.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. Yeah.
Gale has.
Pardon? Gale has. That's true.
Sandhill.
Zantel.
Should we expect night visits?
I don't know, Oresta, should you? And I go to push her playfully, and then I'm like, oh.
She she allows it. She doesn't move an inch.
Pillow fight?
So you just kind of fall into her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Whoa.
She'll make sure that he doesn't roll off
Yeah,
or anything.
he's
Like
such
she'll
sweet-
catch
He's
him.
being a real dork right now. And then he's like, okay.
Remember what happened last time there was playful shoving? I'm just...
Hands up, anyone here who's not here to see Pyres be a little bit of a dork? Oh, don't see any lifting up.
That's weird. I didn't even lift my hand. That's weird.
Yeah.
Let's be entirely fair. You're not the only one being a little bit of a dork in the scene right now.
Aww.
So many
Love it.
dorks, too many dorks.
You're right. Anyway, no, I don't think anyone has to worry about me creeping into their room at night and, nothing like that.
I know you wouldn't creep. I
No.
know you'd
And now it's
get
my
consent.
Yeah. Something runs through Pyre's head and he's like, wait, what? And he fully does hmm?
Can you repeat what you last said? It was pretty quiet.
I know you wouldn't creep. I know you'd get consent.
You told me that you've lived a different experience from me. that's true. I know. I mean, everyone has, right? We're all unique out here. Back at the House of Bells, when I was recuperating, that one time I had to recuperate, Single Edge came to visit, and you were there, and
Ruined it.
well, no, ruined is not the right.
I seem to recall a certain nickname I acquired from that.
Pyres can't help but say it under his breath.
She brought it up. She is okay with that.
It's just like.
And what was that nickname there that you were saying under your breath?
Well, I mean, there were a
Say what
couple
you
versions,
remember.
but I would go Commander Cockblock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it makes more sense, I suppose.
Yeah,
Then.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
It's funny. At the time, I was a little embarrassed. I guess maybe I don't know. Embarrassed is such a. Oresta, what? I grew up knowing that I was going to try to find some semblance of happiness and satisfaction in a marriage that was arranged by my house, by my parents, for the good of House Cathak. I don't know what your upbringing was like, because maybe that was never an issue until you were of a certain age. What do you see your future being like? Are you like living with someone in a tea shop or something? A dojo?
I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Right, we just have to survive. That's true.
I guess I thought I'd follow in my mother's footsteps and command a legion or something.
Me too. Me too. Where do you see yourself now?
Trying not to command. Trying to let things be what they are. Trying to
I'm quite good at living in the moment. I feel like that's one of the things I've learned how to do well. Wait, what? Sorry.
I've
Takes a
heard-
bite of shrimp cocktail.
I've heard sip
Snacks you brought.
hides her reaction with a sip.
Of
yep.
course, yeah, sure. That's the thing. It's we are in a position to make a big difference, and so that means looking ahead, and that means being like Gale Whispered. It means planning and strategizing and surrounding your enemies and picking them off before they can get you. But can I tell you something?
Always.
There's joy in battle and there's joy in love, but the best thing in the world is the thing that you have to just be in the moment for.
Yeah.
And oh boy, okay. I'm going out on a limb here, folks. He's going to reach his hand down and say, "That's dance."
She'll take his hand.
Okay, Pyres is going to dance with Oresta, and they're just going to give themselves over to the rhythm.
Are you dancing to
the-
music only you two can hear?
I mean, unless Sion Teller Flavienne is somehow a musician, I assume.
I
Gale's
mean,
not.
she's not gonna
Assume
shut
correctly.
up and not talk during the dance, just so you know. But
No,
she'll
that's
let
fair.
him, express himself how he can.
Oh, this is how he can. This is how he can.
And what are you trying to accomplish with this dance?
I
mean, it's a beautiful scene.
No, I'll tell you actually, John. Pyres has an intimacy that he is revealing in this moment. It is actually my secret intimacy from season 1, if I may. One of my 2 secret intimacies. The other one was revealed.
Oh my god.
Fuck it. But I'm very happy to just like throw it out there that Pyres has a principle, which is still minor, which is there is no greater joy than music and dance. And he's had it forever and ever and ever. But it's a secret. But he's telling Oresta now. Is that good enough for you, John? Is that a good enough reason for this?
That's amazing. I love
Why
it.
the fuck are you getting aggro on me?
I love it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm feeling
All I ever
I'm
wanted
feeling
was
a
for
lot.
the people to dance.
I'm feeling a lot right now. It's good. No, it's good. It's good. It's good stuff.
I guess Pyres opens up
Yeah.
through dance.
Yeah.
About dance.
Dance. Weirdly.
Yeah.
The only way I can express my love of dance is through the medium of. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
It's through beatboxing.
Don't worry, I have had this PowerPoint presentation prepared from us. Pyres, here you go. Oh, sorry.
When we were shared our first barrel of wine in the tower at the House of Bells, we all shared our secrets.
This was one I didn't feel was right for being a student at the House of Bells.
I'm glad I got to know you, Pyres.
Me too.
Fuck you.
I need to read intentions again.
Yeah.
Read intentions again.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stunt by brushing Oresta's cheek.
Get it?
Okay.
I mean,
That's what I'm gonna-
I'm
Are you
okay with this.
like
action.
brushing hair away from her cheek, or are you just like
with my hand?
like-
no. You're right. Thank you. Yes.
Like,
I'm
get a hairbrush.
You got some flyaways here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm brushing hair away, and I'm kind of gauging her reaction to that. I've kind of established intentions for the scene, but like, can I read?
I'm gonna first ask, are you relenting, or are you going to keep your resolve up?
No, she's gonna reduce her resolve.
Okay, I'm not gonna require you to roll.
Don't need to roll it. I mean, yeah, I suppose. Like, I want to ask a question, but it's really
Yeah.
like in the context of how the mechanics work.
Yeah.
I guess I'm asking if your intention for the scene has changed at all in this moment. In that last moment.
No, she's still trying to suss out where Pyres feels about the people on the hearth. But I don't know if there's different like.
Let me ask another question then.
Mm-hmm.
How does she react to having Pyres take what is a relatively intimate action of brushing the hair away from your cheek?
So cute.
And that you can also choose to elevate your resolve if you wish.
Thanks, Liz.
It's nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice. Oh, those sandals.
Yeah, because
good.
him
That
and the
slit,
kimono.
though.
Yeah, it's such a good look.
Yeah.
Nice.
That slit goes all the way up.
So I'm gonna use that question
Oh.
then that I had banked. Through our conversation, through his opening up and his dance, I feel that I've gotten to know him better. So how can I get the character to do what I want? Is the question. And
That's
what I
a good question.
That's
yeah.
an amazing question.
Tell me, yeah.
And what I want is to be
I don't think you have to stay what you want. I think it's a question about what would you have to do to get Pyres to just go along with what you would like him to do.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I feel like there's a distinction between, like, can you tie my shoe versus,
It's
like, can you die
information
for me or
based.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me what I want to hear. And
Tell me
not
what I
like
wanna hear.
yeah, not don't say yeah.
Yeah.
I think actually now that I say that, no, I am going to rule that some
Yeah.
of it is appropriate because if what you want is like I want you to leap off a cliff.
No, exactly.
That's a lot different than
Yeah,
I
so
want you
how
to-
Whispered.
so what I want being
If you feel more comfortable, by the way, you may tell only Pyres and mute both your mics. If you think that would be more interesting.
I don't know. I guess I'll do it because that seems like.
Can I also?
Okay. What is going on?
I'm watching on the television because it's a better view.
Oh, for you it is.
Yeah. So that's why it looks like I'm like looking off into space. I'm literally watching them on the screen. And I'm just gonna keep talking so that they have their moment and I can't hear what they're saying. But I know I look like a friggin' dweeb going like this.
Oh, thank you.
But I'm watching them.
It's how can I get Pyres to do what I want? So how can I get Pyres to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Liz is getting a TV show.
How you can get Pyres to do that is by just
Getting down on your knees.
Whoa, bam, 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 bam! Yes! High five! Nasty. By being like not physically intimate, but by being like intimate in return. You know what I mean? Like I think in this moment he would respond well to like an honest, direct question.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's going to return the favor by tucking some hair behind Pyres' ear. And if they're still dancing, she'll take a moment and like lead a little bit for a moment and like switch the directions on the steps.
He's a little misty-eyed.
She's taking the lead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Amy and Vivian.
I'm curious about Flavienne, but they say that you shouldn't meet your heroes, but I already did. I don't know if this isn't me trying to be down on myself. I don't know if I'm good enough for you. You're like kind of my hero.
She definitely like fails
like
at leading. No, she fails at leading the dance. Not being a dancer herself. Like she's got like, you know, finesse and athletics, and I'm sure she had to take some bullshit dance classes because she's a patrician. But like she is not the kind of dancer that Pyres is.
Sorry, that maybe was too much.
No, I wouldn't want to be on uneven terms.
I don't think it would be uneven terms. I guess I just have to know, do you mean now?
I She goes back to the pitcher, pours more drinks.
Yeah, sure. Pyres goes and like plonks down on the bed. Oresta, I'm open. I'm an open book, even. I didn't mean to scare you off or anything. I just
has expressed interest in me after I walked in on you two.
Oh.
I was trying to leave the door open for everyone. I literally left the door open. We literally all slept together.
It's true.
And then the
Nothing
very
happened.
next night, alone. So, I don't know.
I think if it's something that I think this is if there's something that you want out there. I know Earth is supposed to be like immovable, you know. Everything eventually returns to the pillar of the earth.
But the plates shift, mountains rise over generations.
Sorry, John. Sorry, that was me. That was on me.
Over generations, they are ground down by glaciers. We aren't immovable, but we just move slow. So, I guess I'm not closing my door or locking it. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay. I don't do anything by half measures, you know, and I feel like if a glacier came along, it would just run me over. Maybe I could outrun it, though. They move pretty slow. But if I do know one thing, it's that sometimes you just have to seize the moment. And he's gonna kiss Oresta, and he's going to move in to kiss Oresta. That's what's happening.
I mean,
Oh, yeah. We're all...
oh god.
This is a big moment.
Like 200 episodes.
This is so
Never had
big
PC romance. Oh.
Bingo, 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 bingo.
Actually,
You
yeah.
have activated 17 bingo cards.
Right?
Yay!
Oh my
thanks,
God.
Dad.
Oh my
Wait
god.
a second.
Okay.
Oresta gut punches me.
So
like,
just
no.
let's here before
Yeah,
we
sorry,
continue
let's not-
to exult in this moment. We don't know how it goes.
Yep, truth.
It's true.
She'll run with it.
Oh. Well, the invitation was that the door was open, so I
Mhm.
think this is, for Pyres anyway, this is a moment of like testing the waters, but
Mhm.
nothing more than that at this time.
Should have a water aspect to test the waters.
What?
Just saying.
I know you're just saying, I know.
Gale, get out of my room.
Kayla, stop! No one asked you.
Because, yeah, that was her, like, okay, I've said my piece, I'm going, and then he did that.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I mean, Pyres doesn't do things by half measures, so she's going to see what that means in this moment.
In this moment,
Mhm.
Pyres is, he's testing the waters, and
Yeah.
I don't think after what happened, like earlier today, yesterday,
Yesterday?
I don't know, whenever.
Yeah, I mean, we've fudged the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Ooh, thank you. I don't think that he's aiming to, like, you know, go all the way with Oresta in this moment. But he is like just trying to see if you know how she responds to him and like whether there's anything between them chemistry wise.
yeah.
I think there is, but
Yeah.
like do we get to say that?
I
Is it
don't
one of those
know.
things?
I don't know.
That's entirely between the two of you. I also insist that you do not roll that.
That's fair.
I think that would be entirely unfair. I will absolutely roll at the end of the session how well you and Brevin did, though.
Yes.
Inquiring minds want.
I took away my bank stunt. Already.
Yep.
Or is it Kung Fu Fenris? Pheromones and shit.
Rewatching that Changeling episode where Sophia and Zeron rolled, and Sophia rolled 5 successes and Zeron rolled 9 successes. I mean,
Damn.
oh good God.
However, yeah.
So yeah, there are like lots of layers of realization going on for Oresta throughout all of whatever kiss / makeout
Yeah, we should just keep that out. I feel
all
like
of
that's
that
just what
is.
we'll keep out.
Yeah.
There's some rolling around.
Yeah.
But then at some point, he's going
Yeah.
to be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I know now that your door is always open. And you don't want me to call you Commander, right?
No.
Okay.
If that's a thing, we can talk about it.
It's not a thing. I'm just diffuse tension.
Only if you could sound
Humor
like that
something.
XCOM guy.
You
I
will be in
appreciate it.
touch, Commander.
I appreciate it.
We will be watching.
She's gonna take her drink and head back to her room.
And Pyres is gonna like fully just flop on the floor and then like get up and like drink a bit and then flop on the windowsill like the angsty teen that he is.
Is he still staring out into the... Is he staring out or is he now staring in?
He's staring towards the door. Into the house, yes, not outside.
Okay.
Yeah, just to be clear.
I was just not expecting any of that to happen.
I wasn't sure where any of this would have gone.
Frankly,
But
me
I'm
neither.
very pleased.
It was like,
I would be lying if
I need to
said
talk to
I'm
you.
not
I need to
thrilled.
see where you're at. And we were both like, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh.
Yeah, I said that's on my sheet. I don't know what to tell you.
Sorry, I can't control my facial expressions.
Oh,
I was-
thankfully
thought it was
you
better
were
by
focused.
turning
Yeah,
away.
it was amazing. Thank you, Liz.
God.
Gale Whispered.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you need to accomplish?
So
I need a cold bath.
I really do think that Gale, like, unless somebody really like breaks her concentration and says it's time to sleep, she's not gonna sleep. She's on a roll, and she's like, especially finding out that it was the same toxin that poisoned Siantel. So
After
she
after
will
a
pull an
few
all-nighter.
okay, so after a few hours,
yeah,
Gale Whispered feels arms slide around her, like from behind,
yeah.
slide around front, and just a long hug and then a whisper. You're of no use if you stay up all night.
has it been 5 minutes?
The sun's coming up in an hour.
Well, I mean, maybe I should just like stay up because if I go to sleep, I'm gonna be more
She
tired.
very lightly just grazes her teeth against your earlobe.
Oh.
Well, how am I supposed to sleep now?
Just follow me.
Tears her eyes away from the vials of blood before her.
She
and
just
please.
takes her hand,
Yeah.
guides her away from this room,
Yeah.
pulls her towards the bed, and then all she does is just start pressing her hands into her back.
Gil's asleep in like 30 seconds. Out.
And then she nods and then quite gratefully just passes out right next to her.
Oh no, she didn't sleep either.
And then
Oh god.
Where the administrative buildings stood, there are now holes, foundations that have cracked, crumbled. The barracks still up. The main hall, which was where the commander stationed her base camp, still exists. But there are too many rumors. There are too many stories about what happens to any who approach the House of Bells. Those who believe that there is something valuable, perhaps to salvage, perhaps to steal, don't turn. There are questions. Who is making sure that this site remains inviolate? In Arjuf, an official decree, no one heads to the battle site. And she waits. Most days sitting at the crossroads between the barracks, the mess, where calisthenics were performed each and every day. A scythe stretched across her lap. Patiently. She has all the time in the world. And she's waiting for answers and for justice. She'll continue to wait for as long as her patience can hold out. And I think we'll end the session there.
Glad you got your jollies while you could, Pyres.
Yeah, that was spooky. I love that track, though. I'm gonna have to get that track.
You've heard it before.
I know. I can't quite place it, but it's spooky and I like it.
Well, if it hasn't played, because they couldn't hear anything when we were.
Oh no,
Okay.
he's heard it before,
Okay.
but I'll pass you the track.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just Rolodexing things now. Correct, Kung Fu Fenders.
Ooh.
I mean, sorry.
Oh.
We have a few things to break down.
Welcome to Fancy Corner. Yes, sorry. Don't have to say it. I can just.
Yeah. I guess I want to just tack on to that before we get into the rest is that I do want to thank everyone at the table. This is the first time that we've had two PCs interact in a romantic sexual way. And this is cross-couple. We've been gaming together for 5 years. We're great friends, but it's still a thing. So thanks for everyone being careful about each other. And
And we'll
thanks, y'all.
Yep, and we'll always check in. That's the most important thing, right? What's
Get
okay
yourself a
today?
goddamn play card.
Yeah!
Yeah.
We're going to start with our standard questions, but this session may need a little bit of extra care. So, Scott, what'd you learn?
I learned something that I said, which is that Pyres truly believes that, while politicking is necessary in the realm, the only way to really cut to the core of someone is through intimacy. And I think he believes that you can achieve intimacy through things other than sex, but that's one way to that. Another way would be performance, and you know what I mean? There's an emotional core to people that, that's what he learned.
Kate.
Oresta wants to keep everyone happy, and she's been trying to do that at her own expense. And now that she's started to think about what she wants, she's still figuring out what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But is still trying to keep everyone happy, so it's not. Might be a mess tomorrow. Who knows?
Elizabeth.
Gale's learning that some of the connections that she's already made that were unsubstantiated in her mind are starting to be drawn, but not in the ways she expected. She was really thrown by the fact that the toxin was the same one. She kind of expected to be proven wrong in that case, and she would just check it to be sure. But yeah, that really threw her.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you learn? I'm very curious today, if I may. If there's anything that stuck out to you? Thanks, Fenris.
I learned that... Okay, I'll start with something I didn't learn, and then I'll start with something that I learned. I learned that there's going to be people in your life with whom you will click, that you'll be able to play with, but not just play, that there's an art, a performance that develops. And this isn't a performance for an audience. It's a performance for ourselves. But I also have to learn, what I learned is that performance takes risks, and those risks are different for everybody. I have been engaged in numerous relationships with these three across our personal lives, across our professional lives, and across our gaming lives. And just because I have that experience with the three of them doesn't mean that they have that experience at the same time with each other. that's also something that Kate pointed out, is that there's also 2 couples at this table.
Sorry, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Surprise.
And the fact that there's 2 couples at this table means that the dynamics change, because I'll also point out that there is a difference that comes into play. And it's not something that you can just say, oh, it doesn't matter. We're all friends. It does. It matters. But we do what we can to try to make sure that we have fun with what we're doing. I'll be honest. We wouldn't do this if it wasn't fun. We don't pretend to get into relationships with each other for because somebody's pointing a gun to our heads. We do it because it's fun. But it does change things. Even if you're in an existing couple with somebody, your gaming romantic life and your real romantic life are not the same. Or your professional romantic life as well.
Fair.
Or sexual life. There's romance
Yeah.
or sex. They're not always the same. So the thing that I learned today is that I have my own preferences about how things go. And I'm enthusiastic about where this is going. But it is new. And so we have to be checking in.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I think that there's going to be a problem, but because I want to make sure that everyone's having the most fun that they can have. And that's why it was really important to me that everyone kept showing that they were having fun. That's what I learned.
Thank you.
I don't get to say what I learned very often.
Yay.
So, Scott, please highlight somebody's play.
I'm going to highlight right here.
Okay.
Why would you do this?
That's okay.
No, because
No, it's good because I wanted to highlight Gale.
No, I mean, no, it's simplicity. Kate, like the scene that we played together, was a lot of fun, and I appreciate that you were out of character. Like, we were using the cards, and also you had a goal in the scene that wasn't just like, score one on the bingo card or whatever. Like, I know that's not how we play the game, but like,
That was the end of Change. Gotta get all the kids.
that is correct. We'll talk about that another day. But like, no, it was a lot of fun.
Good.
I
glad.
don't know if that
It's
counts
nice
as a
to hear.
highlight.
I don't care. It's nice to hear though, right?
There you go.
'Cause I had fun. It's
Yeah.
it's nice.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Good.
Yay.
Fucking
Kate, you're sliding off screen.
Whoa.
Oh, she's gone.
gotta put that physical distance between us now that we're not in character. Gil goes for the answers, whatever it takes. Fucking taking blood from everyone. Putting together the source of the blood. Holy fuck. Also just the goddamn gateway game, but that might have been your storyteller highlight, and I'm stealing it. So I'm highlighting both of you with that because
We'll get to me later.
Yeah.
Please focus on.
what a great yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna cheat and say, Scott, your 2 ways of portraying Pyres seeking intimacy was so interesting. And I'm not saying you did this intentionally, but the fact that they both ended up in the same session.
I know.
We have Pyres with Brevin and we have Pyres with Oresta, and
So
They're-
different.
they're so different, and it's not necessarily that one is just de facto better than the other, but it just shows 2 very different sides of Pyres, and it was so effectively done. And I was enthralled.
It makes a fantastic character.
Oh my god, so good, because playing, like, when you're training in theater school, they often tell you play the opposites.
Yes.
I think the opposites of how Pyres seeks validation and love from other people was perfectly shown.
And I had that scene with my mom.
Yeah.
Speaking of validation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was like a scriptwriter couldn't have written it better. Honestly, it just happened perfectly. Mwah.
Did go very well.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. Chef's kiss.
Oh, Chef Keith.
And now for storyteller highlight.
Ah.
I know that the gateway game was between the 2 of you, but Ciantel initiated the setting up the gateway board and the obscured game, and we're gonna make it. This is what it means, and I know the 2 of you have been playing that dance throughout, especially this season. But what a useful tool. And
Yeah.
like, you know, a movie about chess players, like it's not about chess, it's about the story being told, and you're doing that masterfully, especially considering it's a made-up game.
I love how every session we make up a little bit more about the game.
Yeah.
No, but the
By the end,
metaphor
you'll-
of it is really
It's,
beautiful.
it's
like-
so
Yeah.
fun. I'm glad it was explicitly stated that, like, because we've been talking about the obscure game, and like last session or 2 sessions ago, Gale was really frustrated that she couldn't figure it out. And now the two of them are like working together to say, okay, well, how can we take this and translate it to what we're going through now? It was so cool. It was so cool, John. Thank you.
It's fun to see that kind of come out. The metaphors of the different versions of Gateway are intensely useful for me, because when I was originally presented with Gale Whispered's character concept, it was, I want to be a strategist, and I really like the idea of this game Gateway, and it's mentioned in the book. And if you do like a Control F for Gateway, it appears in the book like what, twice?
Not many times.
and like there is actually official art now of 2 players playing Gateway, but like that came out with Essence, to be honest. It was after we had started playing. And the idea that I had, like the idea that I was presented with is we're at a military academy, but we have a character who wants to focus on strategy and a game. But that game matters. That's what I wanted. I wanted the game to matter, and now it feels like it matters to a significant degree that now, even though we've never actually sat down and just discussed Gateway all that much, we have a language.
Yeah.
Trust your players or your storyteller, you know, either
Yeah.
one. And you can come up with some crazy shit. Yeah, but that's second ed Dragonblooded, and I've already made it absolutely clear to all my players, do not look at second ed stuff, because that's just intimidating for a lot of people to be like, well, boom, there's a lot there.
Yeah.
I've already submitted my resume. Come from Fenris, don't worry. Kidding.
I'll also say that this is the first time that we've had PC stuff, as we've mentioned, a PC romance. I have a rule
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
that I'll remind people if you haven't seen me do this, and we're going to discuss it on Clinic Hours. This is the right fucking week for this
You're
Clinic
welcome.
Hours.
Yeah, you are welcome.
But I will just remind them, my insistence is that PCs cannot enter a game in a existing romantic relationship.
Right.
It is also something that I lean heavily towards newer groups, where I say don't enter into romantic relationships with enter PCs at all, because then you run the risk of there being third wheeling. What I also have to remember, of course, is that we also have been gaming so much together, and we also get invested into each other's stories, that I'm like, no, I just kind of want to watch this play out. And I wanted to ask you specifically whether that was your reaction as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I was doing a pretty good job hiding it, but I'm super invested in that scene. I know that the 4 of us have such a strong dynamic as players, because we're so used to each other that, like, all I would have to say is, hey folks, this last session I felt a little sidelined. That's all it would take, and we would suddenly have a huge discussion about it and figure out how to make it better.
Yeah.
I feel so safe and supported and excited to see where this goes.
Yeah.
So,
Yoy.
yeah,
What a
it's
supportive
just-
table.
I don't know if I'd still change the rule. I think, you know, whenever we get around to another campaign, who knows when that's going to be, but whenever we did, I think I'd probably still be like, I'd really rather that you not enter into a relationship like right off the bat. Because I do think that making such strong decisions at the start can close off avenues and stuff like that.
Well,
But we've been playing for 31 sessions, 32
yeah.
of this.
Yeah. I mean, I've been watching old VODs of us, like, role-playing. I haven't watched any Exalted Nexus, but I am going to. And I just remember, like, the beginning of, like, the romantic, like, the relationships, even with PC NPCs. There was so much timidity there, and, like, we were treading new ground, and that was us being brand new playing together, essentially. And I just think that putting a PC romance in that very, like, delicate energy
would have been, it might have been a bit much for us. It might have led to some sidelining, some third wheeling. So I think that's the right call. Honestly, like we've been doing this for years. And all of a sudden it's like enthusiastic all around. Everybody's on board, but it took time.
But it's also because I know the characters.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be nearly as interested if we were like, okay, it's the second session, and then the two of you just started macking it, and I'd be like, but I don't know anything about it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so you've
Yeah.
decided
Yeah.
that this is a good thing for you.
Yeah.
And like, that's not a terrible thing, but I just don't think it'd be as interesting. In much the same way that I don't know if I'd want to play your significant other from session
Day
one.
one, yeah.
Unless we kind of were very much like, romance is just not a part of this game. So you're like, goodbye, wife. I will see you as I adventure forward into the dungeon.
Yeah.
Right. And that's totally fine. That would be a great way to play for a lot of people. But I think for our games, we kind of, romance is sort of like as
selling point.
well, it's like as endemic as like combat to us in these
Yeah.
games,
It's pretty,
right?
More
pretty integral.
so.
Probably. And like, I'm happy with that. I Yeah, like
yeah.
that dynamic. So that I kind of, to the idea of you can kind of come into game and be like, well, I've already destroyed the Lich King. It would be the same thing as of like, well, I'm already in a happy, secure relationship and nothing can ever go wrong.
I conquer the Lich King, but not the greatest challenge of them all. My heart.
How would you do this without half seconds? Like, who are
This
we
is the
without
question.
half
Oh.
seconds?
That is actually a great question. I need to find that now. I need to find the OG.
first
hashtag
episode.
I
episode.
remember exactly when
Of
it
course
happened.
it is, right?
It wasn't the first.
Wait.
It was whatever episode had, there was a fire. It happened in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna find it.
And it was entirely John's fault.
It's okay.
What?
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like I've been watching John get busy with everyone. And I've been okay with it since
Yeah.
like session 5 of our first stream or
That's
whatever.
true.
So
That's very true.
yeah,
I've been loving it.
yeah.
Again,
These are so useful. Also, like that's the thing. Like, as Liz feels comfortable and it's wonderful to hear, I also feel like these have brought us so much further because there was a session to, like episode 80 of Changeling or something that ended up leading to this, is that we were like, oh, we weren't sure how to express it in the moment. Part of that's because we're streaming. So we can't just be like, hey, like, time out, let's have a talk. Now that we have these cards we feel comfortable to
yeah, there's
But-
pressure to not
interrupt,
to
right?
drop
Yeah,
the fourth wall.
yeah. But it's also that this helps, even as much we're friends, we're close, we know each other, we've been gaming together forever. It's still nice to have those moments of, you're okay, right? Like, you're okay, you're acting too well right now. Okay, it's just in character, great, awesome. Because
But it's also a celebration of like how much fun people are having
Yeah.
too.
Fuck
Like in a way, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I like seeing the green cards pop out because it's just, yeah, okay, people are having a good time. And I love seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I'll find the episode number for ya.
Not really
Yeah.
wonderful.
I want to see that.
But I also know now that, the idea, I'll get explicit for a second here. So I will encourage you, if you do not wish for me to, you have the tools.
Yeah.
Even something as forward as saying, okay, and then this character gets down on his knees in front of this other one and then flicks his belt off. And there are people who I absolutely would never use that language in front of. And even that's like not super explicit, but it's definitely explicit enough. But I also feel safe doing that. Like, I'm literally describing somebody being like, I'm getting ready to engage in oral sex, and this means that I don't feel badly about doing that.
Yeah.
And we were having fun with it. So, but if I didn't have this, now knowing what I know, I'd either barrel through and be like, I sure hope everyone's okay, or I wouldn't do it at all.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't enjoy either one of them as much.
No, because that's it, right? You'd have to say, hey, just by the way, is it okay that XYZ? But you wouldn't
Yeah.
interrupt the flow of the scene to do that. So then it falls to the other person to go, oh, actually, I don't feel comfortable. But then how do you say that? Anyway, we have a tool for that sort of thing.
Because I'd also be very happy if, hey, Wola, it's a little too graphic for me right now. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, cool. Because
Oh, God.
these cards,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Sorry.
Oh.
Just from
Yeah.
the title, I know what
Sorry.
happened.
Yeah, well, it ended up being the title ended up being pretty direct to what happened, as it so turns out. But yeah, that's the title of the episode.
Ew.
Hey-oh, hup, oh.
Well,
there are
remember that all
people
the
that are-
episodes of Changeling the Streaming are board game
Yeah,
titles.
exactly.
So it was convenient.
Yeah. But there are people in chat now that are just starting to watch through Changeling, so I just wanted to say that's what prompted the discussion that led to the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've been designing these cards and we've been working at them. And the thing that actually shocks me the most is just how much more fun I'm having.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put out there like this is
Got this
really these are translating surprisingly well to written role playing.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
we're really hopeful that the experimentation of this safety system in Disconcordia spreads to other RPG forums, because I've spoken to a number of people who do RPG forum gaming, and they say that sometimes like there's a little bit of uncertainty as to how to navigate when somebody crosses a line or approaches a line. And to most of them, I've been like, oh, well, are there safety systems in place? And the answer is usually you talk to a moderator. But what these cards have done with Disconcordia is actually allowed a way for players to navigate certain situations themselves to really great results and safe and productive and creative results. So that's exciting. I hope it's the beginning of even more.
Yeah.
I've loved playing with people outside of this group and kind of seeing what tools they have in place, if any, and like I definitely kind of love just tossing out there, because it's whatever works the best for your group. I, in my humble IMHO, believe that this is a great system because it's clear and it's simple. That's what's important, right? Like that's
And it's non-judgmental.
and it's non-judgmental. That's also important. Yeah.
Because I also know that I'm so used to now reaching for this that I'm not going to feel as badly if I have to reach for either of these. So
Yeah. It's like we're training ourselves to be to not just like be able to articulate things and check in with other people, but also to check in with ourselves, which is so important. Sometimes we don't realize that we had an issue with something until it's too late.
Yeah.
But if you're constantly looking down at these, you're reminding yourself, checking in, how am I? It's great.
no. We've even, before we had these cards, we were still checking in with things, and each one of you had at one time or another been like, hey, so, in the future, I'd like...
But
Sometimes it was, I would like to see less of this, and sometimes it was, I would like to see more of this. But, we were, the proto cards were there just by talking. This is easier than talking, and this also means that in the middle of a session where I have two characters who are timidly circling each other, wondering whether or not they want to engage in that first kiss, that we can do this. And then we don't have to stop and be like, hey, are you okay? Because it's also intimidating sometimes if somebody asks you a question, because I know that when someone asks me a question, I want to give them an answer they want to hear.
Not the real one necessarily.
But this is easy for me to be like, yes, I feel good about holding this card.
yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, safety tools, folks.
I love.
I have a question, actually.
Oh,
It's being asked. So let's throw that up there.
yeah, we have that ability.
Featured.
Question for me, in Disconcordia, how often do I find myself reaching for a green card? Do you mean like physically reaching for a green card, or do
pretty
you mean
funny.
me playing the green card?
Oh, this is great.
I flash green cards all the time. Most of them are from players, and then I use them to confirm.
Yeah.
One of the things that Disconcordia has actually taught me is that we really do need to see if we can find a way in the design, because the design, it's incredibly hard to design simple things. Complicated things, I can write 4,000 words and that'll get all of my feelings down, but can I do it in 150? Can I do it in 50 words? It's hard, but you're way more likely to get somebody to read 50 words than 4,000. But Disconcordia has taught me that the value of doing this, and I'll give you a visual representation of it.
They can't see the card in frame.
Balls.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
The idea that I can go, I'm okay, are you okay?
Yeah.
and then see somebody else be able to say, yes, I'm okay.
Yep.
That is something that I've been noticing a lot on Disconcordia.
Yeah, it's fantastic, especially because it's like from a character being upset about something completely outside of anyone else in the room. They're just like, oh, I had a terrible day and I'm so upset. And people are like, green card? And they're like, oh yeah, my character's upset, I'm fine. Or to character conflict, or to other such scenarios. And we've even, we have private conversations with each individual player as the storytellers. And like yesterday or the day before, I was just like, hey, your character has been talking a lot about how much this is upsetting them. Are you, the player, okay? And just the fact that we use these cards so often gets us used to making those check-ins.
Mm-hmm.
If we had started this, 3 years ago, I probably wouldn't have ever thought to actually check in with a player. I would just assume they'd say something to me,
Yeah.
which isn't fair.
No, but
Yeah.
there you go, right?
But that's how so
Yeah.
many games have been operating, and that doesn't make the people doing it
No.
bad people either. Like
No.
every year, new systems are being developed for safety and consent and navigating those boundaries, and it's really exciting to integrate them as we move forward.
I won't talk for the other 3 players, but I've definitely been in games where if I had safety cards, I'd have been a lot better off.
Yeah,
Mm.
for sure.
I think that everyone's been injured. And I think that to a certain degree also everyone has accidentally injured. We may not know it,
Probably true.
Yeah.
but like there's a chance that you did something in a game one day and it upset somebody else and they were like, I will never tell you because I don't want to make waves. I don't want to look like I'm a complainer. I don't want to look like I don't belong in the group. It wasn't that big a deal. Maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we'd like to know all the same.
Sorry, I really like what Krister's saying here, actually.
Let's throw that up.
Yeah.
You want to read it out loud for us?
I do. Krister says, I quite like how the cards further the game itself, almost like a meta game that tells its own story by providing safety for the main game. Like, if you were to tell the story of this game just through green cards, I feel like that would be a bit odd because you'd be like, what does that mean, right? But there's an ebb and flow to the use of cards,
Mm-hmm.
right? To like indicate moments of heightened emotion, whatever that is.
Yeah, like think of how many green cards were shown just during the Pyres Oresta scene. It would be like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole session would look green. Green, 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 green,
Yeah,
green,
it's
green, green.
true. Because the more intense the scene gets, the more
Yeah.
likely we are to keep
check it.
flashing them.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But we get to keep going.
Yeah, we don't have to constantly be like, no, it's fine, I'm okay. I'm so upset. No, I'm okay. I'm so upset. Like, there's that boomerang that you have to do emotionally to drop character, which you don't have to drop. Sorry,
No,
I thought I'd like
yeah.
shouting
No,
here. Drop character to like explain. You can just show the card. So yeah.
True.
I mean, hell, I'll be the first to say there is only one thing that I'm going to insist on at this point, which is we're going to have a conversation with the 3 of you sitting on that side of the table and me sitting on here. There's always been a physical barrier between me and a character, or most of the time there's been a physical barrier between me and the character who their romance is happening. There isn't for you. So we're just going to have to figure out where we are in terms of comfort levels of things like, is it okay to reach out to take somebody's hand? Is it okay to lean on each other? Is it okay to start making out on the camera? All of these things are we're just going to have a conversation about that if this is going to continue.
Sorry. Yes, you're holding
Thank
a
you.
yellow card, and I should be fully serious about it.
That's
but,
fine. No. I you were paying attention, weren't
Yes,
you? And
yes.
That's what I would do.
No to the making out on camera. Sorry.
We're gonna have it now. It's all right.
I mean, we both ate a lot of garlic bread today.
That is
Oh
also
my
very-
God.
as long as you're both eating garlic bread,
There we go.
Everything is fine.
everything is boom, full circle.
I realize we haven't spoken about milestones.
Ah,
Haha,
Shoehorn
experience.
that in.
I guess
feel
you
like-
should get
Do
experience
we
for this
feel
session.
like those were? What do we? Is that a milestone?
I don't think
It's a
they
meta
were a
milestone.
mile.
I would put the you and Brevin scene in an Exalt milestone. I would nominate that personally.
So, in terms of fire aspects, if their passionate deeds or speeches influenced a significant character or group to take action, I am going to say that it's an edge case, but I will give it to Pyres for that.
Thank you.
That's 3
That rolls
total.
us over.
Exalt minus
Yay!
1 for all. 3 total acquired.
So I will say that. I will also say that if we're looking at the rest of your session, in terms of, pardon me,
Oh my god, John.
I think this is going to be fair. I'm going to give you one personal milestone. It's kind of stretched among all of you. I don't think that each of you had a specific, like, I've accomplished a personal goal, because I don't think any of you had a personal goal of, like, kissing a PC. I mean, you did confront Brevin, but we've given that to you in your Exalt milestone.
Yeah, but-
So you'll get one personal milestone, but again, that's something you'll have to bank. When you get 3, that'll count.
That rolls us over to
if
3. So
So then you
Yeah,
get
that
one
does roll.
personal and one Exalt.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Thanks, John.
So that's what we'll say for your milestones. For this
Thank
session.
you.
Cool. Definitely take that.
I'm gonna decide what to buy on set this week.
ooh,
I'll say this about Essence. I really like the fact that, like, yep, you gain experience, but it's everyone who benefits. That makes me feel way better, because that's like Liz being like, I think he deserves experience. I mean, yes, it also means that Liz gets to benefit.
It's self-serving.
but
yeah.
like that means that everyone gets to feel good
so
about
good.
people doing stuff. So
Well, it's essential. I mean, it's essentially just a. I don't know. You know, it's a chicken or the egg situation. Well, no, it's not a chicken or the egg situation. It's a continuation of what we already do, which is highlighting each other's play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Essence stole it from us.
Yeah.
No, hang on. I didn't mean it like that. Guys.
Scott.
We see you.
Oh god. Yeah, we see you. I see you, Jake Seeley.
we got shit coming up.
Oh my god. I
Ooh,
stream on
babe.
Tuesdays at 1800. You can catch me this Tuesday at 1800. The Doctor Surgeon is back. Surgeon Simulator 2 is not like Surgeon Simulator 1.
No.
It's a very different beast. I love it. Running around throwing shit in vents or whatever. I don't know. I'm enjoying myself. I mean, so is he. So come on down and check that out. And you can even get some words of wisdom about medical things sometimes.
We're going to try this again. On Wednesday last week, I ended up playing some ranked Legends of Runeterra, but I spent the first half hour of the session, or first 45 minutes, like explaining the game. I'm not going to do that anymore. We're going to give that another shot. There's a lot of games that are coming out that are super exciting, including Metroid Dread, which will be happening. There's also been a re-release of some of the Castlevanias for Game Boy Advance that have come out recently. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff that's coming up, but I think we'll try another round of cards, because it's also nice to be able to just talk, not just about strategy, but with the rest of you. But on Thursday, we had actually, I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to get 20 minutes out of that Ultimate Session Zero checklist, and we did basically the whole thing. This week, it will be Clinic Hours After Dark. We will be discussing sex and relationships in role-playing.
Oh boy.
And it turns out that we have a lot to talk about, not just in terms of the stuff that we saw in today's session, but also what we are noticing quite a bit in Disconcordia and in our mass game, including things that you can do both as a player and as a storyteller to make sure that these relationships are fulfilling for the game, fulfilling for the players, and when they may not be a great idea. Friday?
Can't wait.
So Friday, I am most likely not going to be available. Scott will possibly be available.
If I'm not
up in the air.
driving.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
home.
So we're gonna update as soon as possible.
There'll be a
With
steel stream.
question mark?
There'll be a
But
steel-
Yeah, we'll
Saturday
figure
there'll
something
definitely
out.
be a thing.
Sweet.
Yeah, because Saturday.
Through crew.
Yes! We're
Yay!
gonna finish Moonstone Castle. this week.
Moonstone Castle. What a great
And then in theory, I might be starting a new thing.
Ooh.
But I have to confirm that with special guests and such and such. Check the Discord. You know how it goes on Saturdays.
And next Sunday we'll be back here for episode 12 of ExalTwitch Academy. See where all of this goes.
Yeah, where is this all gonna go?
I think it's gonna go this way.
Oh, already?
I mean, are we?
We're okay to go this way?
Yeah, yeah.
Pushing-
Quick shout out and thanks to Kung Fu Fenris.
Thank you, Kung Fu Fenris.
We're gonna go this way.
Absolutely, thank you to Kung Fu Fenris, and thank you to everybody else who has been with us, who has been subbed, followed. If you type something in chat, we love you. But also, hey, join our Discord. It's a cool place to be, where you can where you can enjoy hanging out with us, asking us questions, suggestions for what we might be able to do, our individual streams, RPGClinic streams.
Movie nights sometimes.
Movie nights sometimes. That's absolutely also a thing. Also, a reminder that if you are interested in playing Changeling with us, we have Disconcordia, which is a separate server because we can't get enough of Discord apparently. And it's been going really well so far. It's been a lot of great stuff. So come join us. If you've never played Changeling before, it's a good learn.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to go and honestly, I'm so excited about what we're going to do off stream right now. And it's just for us. And it is not making out.
Well, now spoilers, I guess.
But we're going to go chill, hang out. Don't forget, aftercare is so important for your games, especially when they get intense. But I'm going to leave it to Kate to show us where we're going to go.
Well, that was way louder than I thought, sorry.
Go get your double tap, everybody.